Memberships start out as little as $5 a month, and you'll get access to exclusive content only offered to our members. You'll be supporting independent journalism done by people who cherish Alabama values. Become a member today by visiting 1819news.com and clicking Become a Member. That's 1819news.com and click Become a Member today.
A deputy with the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department has been placed on administrative leave without pay following his arrest earlier this week. 21-year-old Cameron Lee was charged with using his position for personal gain. Lee had been assigned to work at the Jefferson County Jail. A California woman has been arrested and charged for stabbing an 80-year-old Sylacauga man while he was in his front yard. John McElrath is known by neighbors for sitting on his front porch and waving to people who passed by. That's how a person realized he was seriously injured when he waved for help. McElrath was then taken to UAB Hospital and is in stable condition. Tashay Whitson was identified as the stabbing suspect and was taken into custody. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
When your tax refund comes, put it on the floor and walk on it. Revitalize the look and feel of your home with new floors from Prattville Carpet. With faster and better service than the big box stores and luxury vinyl planks starting as low as $4.99 per square foot. You'll enjoy that tax refund turned flooring every single day.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. If you're looking for waterproof carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measurement.
Dial 285-8117 or visit PrattvilleCarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
This is how you conduct yourself in a democracy? I'm a better looking person than Kamala.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into the program. Thank God for another beautiful day. Hopefully it'll be a good show, and Montgomery still needs a new mayor. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader here in the studio, as is Troy Carrico. And, well, there's so many ways we could go today. Seriously.
Talk about this tune right here.
What do you mean?
Is it all a cappella?
I guess
what
so.
It sounds like.
Yeah.
Which is, it sounds really good. It just sounds like it's all a cappella. No...
Kind of silly.
No, come on.
Now turn your camera the other way. There you go. Now you're driving me nuts over there. You never centered up. He's a wiggle worm.
He's a wiggler. He's a wiggler. Wiggle with it.
How's this one doing?
Just wiggle with it.
I'm glad, though, he's improved over the week, Troy. Earlier, I called him out that he was becoming a woman.
Bad behavior?
No, he's becoming a woman.
I was
being catty, gossipy.
Yeah.
He was using his hands a lot while talking.
Very animated.
I didn't fight it because I went back and reviewed the tape, and Joey was 100% right. And all those other people, Joey caused a landslide of people calling me out, going, "Yeah, I want to say something to you. You got to be a little mean girlish there. Maybe it's who you're hanging out with."
I wasn't wrong, and I was saying that a lot.
Yeah, and I'm trying to correct the behavior.
Love is willing the good of the other.
Today.
I would have watched you eat a Reese cup, and I would have made a decision on you at that point.
Well, that's one bite. I'm sorry, but one bite got it.
Oh, by the way, tell Troy what you got.
Oh, yes, Troy.
What do we got?
Have you ever had an MRE and looked as scrumptious as that?
It's disgusting looking.
Listen,
you can look into the bottom.
I'm going to guess the sodium content here is just to die for.
Tell people what this is.
It is a soup of pizza in a bag.
Okay. So
and it is, and if you squeeze the bag, you feel the chunks of pizza in there.
Feel some
if you look at the bottom, it's got a window. You can kind of see that
there's tomato, cheese, and pepperoni in that. And you put
it looks like vomit.
And you put it in the microwave.
I'm assuming you do.
So check out the caloric value. I mean, check out the nutritional value.
I did.
Oh, you did. Okay. 19 grams of total fat, and over half of them are saturated. Cholesterol at 40, that's 13% of your daily cholesterol, and sodium, almost half of your
So what
sodium.
you're saying is that'd be a great breakfast.
This would be good for you. And no, this is bad for us. Good for you, though.
You might as well go to Little Caesars and get pizza.
I have never seen this. Now, I did a couple years ago have some lasagna soup. All of these. But
Oh,
even, okay, even the guy who stocked it, he's the guy who checked me out. He's like,
like,
hey,
look at this.
I've been waiting for somebody to buy this. Let me know how it is. I was like, I'm not going to drive.
We'll
I'm
give you
going
a
to
good
get
deal on the
somebody
whole
to.
case.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure it'll wait a couple of days. We'll probably be out back.
Oh, so
MREs look good to that.
seems like everybody's in good spirits today.
Yeah.
I like that. I like
Friday,
that a great
going into a
deal.
good weekend.
And so Donald Trump, president of the United States, I believe. I just want to read a statement, and it's so long I'm not even going to do Trump voice except for maybe if certain words are appropriate.
Okay.
I know why Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, and Alex Jones have all been fighting me for years, especially by the fact that they think it's wonderful for Iran, the number one state sponsor of terror, to have a nuclear weapon. Trump goes on. Because they have one thing in common. Again, Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace Owens, and Alex Jones, they have one thing in common. Low IQs. They're stupid people. They know it. Their families know it. And everyone else knows it, too. Look at their past. Look at their record. They don't have what it takes, and they never did. They've been thrown off television, lost their shows, and they aren't even invited on TV because nobody cares about them. They're nut jobs, troublemakers, and will say anything necessary for some quote-unquote free and cheap publicity. Now they think they can get some clicks because they have third-rate podcasts, but nobody's talking about them, and their views are the opposite of MAGA, or I wouldn't have won the presidential election in a landslide. MAGA agrees with me and just gave CNN a 100% approval rating of Trump. Not hand-flailing fools like Tucker Carlson, who couldn't even finish college. He was a broken man when he got fired from Fox, and he's never been the same. Perhaps he should see a good psychiatrist. Or Megyn Kelly, who nastily asked me about the now famous Only Rosie O'Donnell question. Or crazy Candace Owens, who accuses the highly respected First Lady of France of being a man when she is not, and will hopefully win lots of money in the ongoing lawsuit. Actually, to me, the First Lady of France is far more beautiful woman than Candace. In fact, it's not even close. Or bankrupt Alex Jones, who says some of the dumbest things and lost his entire fortune, as he should have, for his horrendous attack on the families of the Sandy Hook shooting victims, ridiculously claiming it was a hoax. These so-called pundits are losers, and they always will be. Now, fake news CNN, the failing New York Times, and all the other radical left news organizations are hailing them and giving them positive press for the first time in their lives. They're not MAGA, they're losers, just trying to latch onto MAGA. As president, I could get them on my side anytime I want to, but when they call, I don't return their calls because I'm too busy on world and country affairs. And after a few times, they go nasty, just like Marjorie Trader Brown. But I no longer care about that stuff. I only care about doing right for our country. MAGA is about winning and strength in not allowing Iran to have nuclear weapons. MAGA is about making America great again. And these people have no idea how to do that, but I do, because the United States is now the hottest country anywhere in the world. President Donald J. Trump.
Thank you for your attention to this matter. Hey, he called her Brown. He called her Marjorie Brown.
So, I mean, no reaction to that at all? You were looking at other videos?
No, it just kind of it's Trump being petty.
It was just Trump. It's Trump venting.
Well, how about maybe if this could get your attention? How about that?
All right.
Because somebody realized, because that is long.
I mean, you know.
Well, there's a lot he had to get off his mind.
I think it's great.
I do too.
I think it's fantastic. What are you, Maddie's going after these?
I'm just getting tired of the fights on the playground, man.
Focus on the task at hand. Get the job done.
Yeah.
And listen, Billy Badass. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Billy Badass in the boardroom is different than Billy the Badass on the battlefield.
1000%.
And that's that. I was on the USS Alabama broadcasting from the officers' mess on Scuttlebutt Radio on Wednesday, and the question came up from a caller. I said the difference between getting a deal done in the boardroom is a lot different than getting it done on the battlefield.
Well, you and I can agree to do it in the boardroom, but me and Joey might not have all those same agreements on the battlefield.
Agreed. And what is war, Joey? What's Carl von Clausewitz says, war is nothing more than politics continued at a higher level.
Violent level, that's right.
Sorry, very disappointed in what happened.
Yeah.
No, it's just
you
like
hear that the strait's not really open.
It isn't?
Right,
Hey, did
right.
you guys go over, Joey, on the show this week, did you guys cover the 10 items that are in that?
Y'all are ruining what I was trying to do. Y'all are being way too serious right now. It's Friday, dadgummit. You're looking at your phone. You're bringing up Clausewitz.
This is a life and death situation.
Yeah, give me a moment here.
I am looking at my phone, but I'm looking at this ridiculous
I like that.
recess stuff going on in the playground. It's stupid, man.
What?
I don't enjoy, and I know it's just me, but I don't enjoy the president
Okay.
being
Maybe,
I mean,
maybe you'll enjoy it this way.
Okay.
Somebody realized that Trump's unhinged posts work better as a rap song.
Carlson, Megyn Kelly, Candace, Owens, and Alex Jones have all been fighting me for years. Especially by the fact that they think it is wonderful for Iran, the #1 sponsor of terror,
Already better.
to have a nuclear weapon. Because they have one thing in common, low IQs. They're stupid people, they know it, their families know it, and everyone else knows it too. Look at their past, look at their record, they don't have what it takes and they never did. They've all been thrown off television, lost the shows and aren't even invited on TV. Because nobody cares about them, they're nut jobs, troublemakers, and will say anything necessary for some free and cheap publicity. Now they think they get some clicks because they after they cop, right? But nobody's talking about them in the views of the opposite of MAGA. Or I wouldn't have won the presidential election in a landslide. MAGA agrees with me and just gives CNN 100% approval rating a truck, not him flailing fools. Tucker Carlson, who couldn't even finish college. He was a broken man when he got fired from Fox, and he's never been the same. Perhaps he should see a good psychiatrist. Or Megyn Kelly, who nastily asked me, then now famous. Only Rosie O'Donnell question her crazy Candace Owens, who accuses the highly respected first lady of France of being the man when she is not, and will hopefully win lots of money in the ongoing lawsuit. Actually, to me, the first lady of France is a far more beautiful woman than Candace. In fact, it's not even close.
That was a little better than just straight up.
I'd rather hear it that way.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Okay, those people I can understand when they have beef and they're putting it out on the street.
Right.
It's when people in suit and tie have the beef and they act like they're all bad. That's,
What is that? What is that old saying? And I think it's applicable in so many ways. And what's been going on is, it's only the guilty that concern themselves with clearing their names. And what I mean is, that's true.
Yeah.
It's the guilty that try so hard to clean their names up.
Yeah.
And the thing is, there's a identity crisis right here. I think is what's going on. So just me.
So that's just out of the. And by the way, Trump has been tweeting like a mean girl about her for all day.
Why
Like little,
why can't he be
little
little
text, like the
little
little
ankle
yeah.
biters?
Yeah, exactly. And
Dipping at you.
we'll get into all that in a second. But I believe we have. Is this Rosie? You said?
It's a Rosie, yeah.
Hey, Rosie, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. I just wanted to let you know I really like what you're doing with the music,
Okay,
but technically a cappella is voices and no instrument.
that's true.
This is very true.
So
There were
your music
instruments.
is
Oh, I didn't. Oh, okay.
instrumental.
Okay.
Yeah, instrumental, but not a cappella.
Okay.
We stand corrected.
Yeah, I played my guitar into
We
the
stayed
AI app
connected,
and then
Rosie,
told it
you're
to do
right.
a cappella, and it still kept the instruments. So.
So it still kept the
It was
guitar?
it was Joey that said that, Rosie. I knew it was not.
Now, Eddie roped me into it. I don't take
No,
responsibility.
because there's a group out there called the Bobs, and they are a cappella group, and they do everything from Jimi Hendrix to Stevie Ray Vaughan. It's all a cappella. It's amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I stand corrected. You're absolutely 100% right, Rosie, and you're beautiful, and I hope you call again.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Rosie.
272-9228.
Not to be confused.
We need a fact
Bob.
checker all the time.
Mhm.
I think every
Are you
day.
kidding? On this show, you know how busy they'd be?
You know, by the way, how easy it is to just whip up a song. Like, I need to start taking the Trump Truth social posts
You should.
and just putting them into different types of music.
Yeah, why not?
Because that was much better. Especially the whole, like, and Candace Owens, the highly respected First Lady of France, who in
She's
fact
hot.
isn't a man and is much more better looking of a woman than Candace.
I don't know if I agree with it. I kind of feel like the dude's. I see him throw a punch at her husband, or his husband, whatever you want to say, and he took the punch.
You don't like a lady who can fight?
Yeah, I do, Joey.
Yeah, you do.
That's why
Yeah,
we like the
yeah,
ones
dude.
when he stuffs them into the trunk that they're kicking and stuff, biting and scratching.
What a
The
mess.
more they fight, yeah.
It's just what a mess. But you know, Trump did keep going on. So, like, okay, here's one on the tanker fees,
Okay.
saying there are reports that Iran is charging fees to tankers going through the Hormuz Strait. They better not be, and if they are, they better stop now.
So
Simple.
Yeah, right. But check it out. Have you guys seen? There's a startup company, and I have somebody that's affiliated with them. It's called Citrini. They're on Wall Street. They are a risk mitigation business intel analyst with a lot of military flair to them. They sent a correspondent of theirs or an analyst of theirs into Oman.
Okay.
Got on a dhow, went out into the bay, out into the Gulf. I mean the Straits and the Gulf there, and said that what we're seeing and what we're hearing are two different things.
Yes.
And here's the
That's what I
deal.
was thinking.
So in the terms buried underneath all the agreement about the toll booth, here's the way it works. It's $1 a barrel. An average load is about 2 million barrels.
Right.
Okay, so 2 million. If you're friendly to Iran and they judge, they're
the
subjective.
judge of
If
that.
not, then they raise the price as high as $10 a barrel. It's unsustainable, man.
Well, do you see? I saw in Japan they're releasing some of their, I guess you'd say, hard crude that's been kind of in the reserves.
the reserves.
They're trying to make a dent in theirs. I hope we don't have to do that, but I'm telling you, if something don't end soon, I think that's what
There's
we'll
no
see.
reason why we should be having a glut.
I agree.
Stuff. I mean, this
And
is
that's-
all speculation and regional hedging.
That's the
and
other
it's
part
ridiculous.
of it. Let's let the reality of it hit the market. You're telling me that any of our refineries are getting shorted? And if they are, if it's only 10%,
The only problem we have is that America does not have a defined or definite dedicated diesel refinery. That's
Diesel,
and
there's
that's
no reason
what
for us not to
powers
have
the
it.
world. That's trains, boats, trucks. That's why your cost is so high at the grocery store.
$5 a gallon for diesel. Almost
So Trump put out another one on Iran. The Iranians don't seem to realize they have no cards other than a short-term extortion of the world by using international waterways. That's kind of a big one. The only reason they are alive today is to negotiate President Donald J. Trump. And you think, okay. Oh, wait, he has another one within just a few minutes. The Iranians are better at handling the fake news media and public relations than they are fighting President Donald J. Trump. So after the long one against Candace and Alex Jones and Tucker Carlson and all sorts of folks, he's doing these short little missives. No, and I think there's a lot being lost in the news about what's actually happening in that part of the world. I really appreciate your point because it's happening so much and so contradictory and just a mile a minute.
Sure.
Just let the process work out.
Let it develop.
And I feel like if there was not actually a breakthrough, I don't believe the vice president would be on a plane to Islamabad at this moment. I just don't. I think they would have already started bombing again.
Okay, I have a question. Once we get this settled with Iran, can we go ahead and dredge the crap out of that Strait of Hormuz so we don't have this problem again?
What do you mean dredge it?
Well, you know how you got that little point there?
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's got a channel that kind of puts it right through.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Panama Canal, but we were able to dig that out. Let's dig that island back, and suddenly there won't be.
Well, you know what?
Tight strait,
You know what the answer is? They're building a pipeline now to circumvent the Strait of Hormuz. That's exactly what's going on with Saudi Arabia going up through Saudi Arabia over to the Red Sea.
Pipeline's not a bad idea at all. It's something
It takes them takes them completely out of the mix.
The problem with that is they'll hire, which they do in a lot of these other countries, they'll hire people just to do nothing but disrupt that gas line, that pipeline.
You're right.
Well, here's a short clip. This is the vice president before he hopped on a plane. He's leading the team with Kushner and Witkoff going to Islamabad, Pakistan, which, what a place, a real neutral spot, right?
Thought we could go hang out there this weekend, Joe.
But let's listen in.
We're looking forward to the negotiation. I think it's going to be positive. We'll, of course, see, as the President of the United States said, if the Iranians are willing to negotiate in good faith, we're certainly willing to extend the open hand. If they're going to try to play us, then they're going to find that the negotiating team is not that receptive. So we're going to try to have a positive negotiation. The President has gave us some pretty clear guidelines, and we're going to see. So I hope you guys have a safe flight. We'll certainly take some questions later on. But for now, let's get on the plane and hit the road. Thank you.
Yeah, you got to wonder.
Good faith. That's an oxymoron when you're talking about this regime. So.
Well, and we went over some of this reporting it struck me, much of it is true, not maybe all the characterizations, the psychology, what people were actually thinking in their own minds, but it was a write-up of how this was decided, that Situation Room write-up of the New York Times.
Yeah.
And one thing I find very believable is both Ratcliffe, of course, Vance, but Ratcliffe, head of the CIA, Rubio, pretty much everybody across the board said the Israelis are overselling on actually shutting down, like the Iranians' ability to shut down the Strait of Hormuz. They are underplaying how easy it's going to be for them to do that. And the Israelis are overselling regime change, especially with the Kurds.
Sure they are.
And all of them told the president, yeah, we can meet the first three objectives pretty quickly, especially if we get this open shot where all the leadership's in one spot. And we can take out the missiles, and we can take out the Navy, and we can take out their Air Force, and we can do a lot of this stuff. But true regime change and actually making sure the Strait of Hormuz is open, that's not easy. And I think Trump believed if he hit them hard enough, fast enough, you've seen the different attempts here of like get the Europeans to do something, bring in other interests to do something, now threaten to destroy an entire civilization, and we'll see.
I honestly, and I was talking about this on Wednesday, and my thoughts are this, and I think you know where I'm going to come down at is attrition and graduated force is not the way to do it. You do it with ass-kicking violence on the objective and knocking their teeth down their throat. Exactly and then I'm telling you now, guys, the way you fix this, and this may sound brutal, but this is just the Machiavelli in me saying this. You go in, you knock out critical infrastructure, and I'm talking roads, salinization. I'm talking the nuclear power grid connection, Natanz. I'm talking not the reactor, the grid. All of their fiber optic, which is already basically down, and then you take out. When that power goes out, you're back in the biblical dark ages with no water, and the people will existentially have to rise up and kill the people that are in power. It's just that simple. There'll be a lot of people that'll die. I'm sorry, but that's the only way you're ever going to achieve a full regime change there. I'm not saying to do it. I'm saying that's the way it's got to be done.
No, I think the last sticking point for Trump and team is they never, especially from that inside look, they'd never expected true regime change. Because I think it would require something like that, or it would require a much more solid, say, like the Kurds that don't trust us anymore, as you laid out earlier in the week.
It's true.
You would need like actual forces on the ground to do something like that without destroying all the major infrastructures. But I think the last sticking point is the Strait of Hormuz. They don't really care at this point, even if some bad dudes are running around. They care about the strait being closed and clogging up oil markets.
Yeah.
So if that's the last sticking point, there might be something that gets done. And then, of course, people are bringing up how the Iranians are charging Bitcoin, but there's been no proof of that. Though it would make sense. Like, you can't shut down Bitcoin. Not even the U.S. government can shut down Bitcoin. So
would they want the proof to be out there, though? Because
yeah, well, and I don't know. It's just it was kind of thrown out there again in this news cycle and this like crazy flurry of news after news after news item. And, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they did it, but I don't know how quickly a tanker immediately got set up to transfer some Bitcoin over to a particular and trust that it was the right account, that it was the Iranians and not, it just.
Yep.
So you're saying we should be trying to operate some scams. We could probably get paid right now.
Right.
Okay.
Pretend to be the Revolutionary Guard. Now, that might get us killed. That might get us, like, blacklisted by the U.S. Treasury.
Yeah, but, Joey, think of the money.
No, I'm good.
So there for a while he was like, I think we should set up a toll booth, but that's just him spouting off. So,
well, you could get me with no, you're not going to get me with greed. You're not going to get me with wrath. What you're going to get me with
lead
is
steel is what I'm going to get you with.
I mean that'll get anybody in the right
I'll send
spot.
you home to where you're going to go.
Right. Unless you're Superman, that's going to get you. But no, I was saying in terms of temptations, like Big Jim Folsom said, you can get me with whiskey and
don't set a trap for Big Jim.
Hey, that's the ultimate honeypot right there.
It is. Oh, of course.
Women in whiskey.
In fact, I didn't say anything yesterday, but they have Petraeus on yesterday as on Fox as one of their contributors. I still want to vomit when I see that man's face.
Yeah, because what he did,
especially when they put it on Fox at a time. Yeah. Can you come on, man?
Anyway, let's go to Clark. Hey, Clark, how you doing?
Yes, sir. I'm fine. Shell?
Pretty good.
Good deal. So before we get on to weightier matters, MREs.
Yes.
I was fortunate enough to be in service when the transition between CRAT and MREs occurred.
Yeah.
MREs were way better than CRAT. I'll grant you there's probably some novelty factor
Not much,
No,
because I think you
Well,
guys sent all those old sea rations to
Yeah,
Turkey,
well, then
and
they
we
had
got
K
them.
rats before that, but I heard the sea rats, were not.
awful.
They left a lot to be desired. But then again, I mean, I don't know what you think. What was your favorite? What was your favorite MRE?
Spaghetti.
Oh,
And
you
the-
know, they had
spaghetti's
that
good.
hamburger patty that
Yeah.
had
Yeah, the dehydrated hamburger patty.
Nice.
A little bit of
yeah.
Tabasco and
Just
some
set it on your
pepper.
tongue, wait for the
And
flavor.
then you take those 2 pieces of toilet paper they give you, Clark, and that little wrap. Like I could wipe my ass with that. You know, it's like I was dragging my butt like a dog instead of with that.
Now look,
What?
you have to wipe with that the first time out. That's on them.
Right.
But if you had to wipe with that the second time out, that's on you.
Y'all didn't take no, you from Alabama. You didn't take no kudzu
Don't
with
you
you. You
br-
just got what you deserve.
You didn't bring any baby wipes. That's not good OPSEC. You know that.
Yeah.
So he's over there going,
No, I just heard a story of somebody who maybe works here. When he was on tour, he had to occasionally do the clear out the
Fresher.
bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. you
Oh
told me.
my
Yeah.
god! Oh, after
Hey,
what people
there's
are
nothing
eating.
better,
Oh,
guys, than a ripe 117 degree outside,
Oh.
middle of central Iraq, and going into that urinal and the black water in there. Listen, it smelt of a different
A
kind of
medieval-
place, man.
medieval Europe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it smelled.
Y'all
like
had
that,
a
like
big
it.
litter box. I don't understand why y'all just didn't have a
By
100
the
by
way.
100 foot.
By the way, Clark, I'm sorry to keep interrupting, but this is the happiest Eddie's been all day. When we
on
got
fire.
to the
That's cat
scatological
trenches.
stuff, all of a sudden he got excited.
Well, I got some experience in this.
Right. Anyway, serious stuff.
We'd go out 3 to 4 days at a time between resupply.
Yep.
Yeah.
And when you drew the sea rats, it was kind of like, I'm not hunting.
I'm not that hungry.
I'm not hunting this crap.
Yeah, no, really. They were heavy, weren't they?
I'd throw about half of it away rather than carry it and not want to eat it, you know?
I'm with you, brother. You know what I say? People ask me about when you combat load, all you need is ammunition and water for a while, because you can live for a while without some food, but man, you better have more rounds is what you need.
2 gallons of that, yes. So, objectives with Iran, you know, secure the Straits of Hormuz. Is it to do this, that, and the other thing? Do you think Iran's about Iran, or do you think it's about...
You're breaking
Hey, we
up.
lost you right there at the end, Clark.
That was important.
Clark, are you there?
I think we lost him.
Yeah, I think.
Yes,
Hey, there you are, Clark.
I'm saying what I think the objective of all of this is, and it's China.
It's always been about China. All this shaping operation's been about China. I've said this from the get-go. Venezuela, Panama, all this is about reducing China's influence in our hemisphere and now over there. And when you depended on 60% of your energy sources in China, you really kind of got them by the boo-boo. And yeah, I'm with you, brother.
Yeah. Energy is economic security. Economic security is national security. And we are bricks by bricks dismantling bricks.
We certainly are. Good point.
Now, you know, you look at what I'm going to dismantle their civilization, or et cetera, et cetera. I find it very interesting. Nobody said anything about this. He gave specific times, and he gave targets.
Yep.
Now, I think the last time Trump gave a
specific time and target.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
4 hours later, boom, boom, boom.
Right.
Oh, yeah. So when he mentioned specific targets and times, I got to think we had satellites watching what rats scurried in the butthole.
We do.
Yeah,
of course.
We got to think that what defense mechanisms were being spoken. That next time.
Well, Clark, I appreciate the comment. I got to run, and always appreciate your calls.
Yeah,
thank you, Clark.
And before we hit this break, real quick, yesterday the fake news story that the Pentagon attacked the Pope.
Oh, it's fake now?
It was fake yesterday, man.
Okay.
But it's fun to talk about it.
The Swiss Guard didn't get involved?
No, but the Holy See, like, they don't often do this. They came out with, like, a statement against the press.
Oh.
Yeah, saying, as confirmed by His Excellency Christophe Pierre, former Apostolic Nuncio to the United States, his meeting with the Mr. Elbridge Colby was part of the pontifical representative's regular mission and provided an opportunity for an exchange of views on matters of mutual interest. The narrative presented by certain media outlets regarding this meeting does not correspond to the truth at all, which is it was in Italian, so they're actually kind of pissed.
Oh.
It doesn't come across in translation.
I see.
But it was in Italian, you're like, wow.
Are they angry, Joey?
Yeah, just a little bit. And a few others came out and said they're complete fabrication, just invented. But I bring this up because it's a little silly. The Pentagon attacked the Pope, like essentially threatened, like, you better get on board. We have a big military. But there is, I think, a serious angle of this with the corporate media and the fake news media. Because of Rubio and Vance being the two top frontrunners and both being vocally, like, Vance is coming out with a new book about converting to Catholicism.
Yes.
And Rubio is very vocal about it as well. I think that is going to be a constant attack vector by the corporate media. Like the literal demons they are, they will take these men's faith and they will use it as a weapon. Mark my words.
There's no doubt about that. Yep.
So that's the serious part. But it is also kind of funny thinking, like, Trump's like, I'm going to get the Pope. The Pope doesn't. Leo, I know the owner of the White Sox, and you don't want
You're
me to
never
do.
going to get into Comiskey Park again.
Right.
I promise you that.
And I know your real name, Leo. I haven't forgotten. I'm non-denominational.
That's a moniker. That's your moniker.
Anyway.
I love it.
We got to hit this break, though. But first, this part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And there at Montgomery Men's Health, they can help out you fellas if you just don't feel right anymore.
Yep.
Across the board, you're just lacking confidence in your job. Maybe it's a job you've done for years, and all of a sudden you're second-guessing yourself all the time. And, of course, lacking confidence in the bedroom. That's not miserable, ain't it? And, you know, if you notice, she notices.
Yep.
And, well, maybe she's being nice about it.
Probably.
But you don't want to wear out that welcome, if you know what I mean, gentlemen. You don't want to wear out that welcome at all. So they can help you at Montgomery Men's Health, powered by Men's Pro, actually understand what's going on with you. It could be you have ED or low testosterone, or it could be you're looking to get on the peptide game, NAD plus or Samorelin. They've got it all there at Montgomery Men's Health. And they're not like one of these fly-by-night places or some sketchy online pill place where you're talking to a chatbot. Instead, they get to know you personally. They can do labs, and working with urologists and their providers, they create you a customized, tailored treatment plan. And the results speak for themselves, where 92% of men respond to treatment. And most guys say after treatment, they wish they'd come in sooner because they feel decades younger.
Sure.
Right now, your lab panel and consultation is just $99. So get by there. Just make an appointment. Call them up at 334-440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to book your appointment today.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
When it comes to your mortgage, who you work with matters. And this is one decision where local makes all the difference. Don't fall victim to flashy mailers, spam calls, or 1-800-lenders who don't even know your name, much less your neighborhood. Those lenders are often sitting in some faraway state, reading from a script, and chasing volume, not relationships. A local lender understands the market you live in, or should I say that we live in. At Alabama Home Mortgage, you can look at us in the eye and trust us with one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. Local lenders don't disappear after closing day. Our reputation is built right here, one family at a time. So before you pick up the phone and call a stranger, remember us, Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon at Alabama Home Mortgage. You deserve guidance from someone who knows the community because they're a part of it. Give us a call at Alabama Home Mortgage today at 334-567-4223 or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. That's Alabama Home Mortgage, because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
We get this question all the time.
Do you handle that?
Buying or selling a home?
Yes.
Commercial?
Yes.
Land or investments?
Absolutely. Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. One team.
Every real estate move. 334-322-0662.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, There are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Ernest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Ernest, 334-279-7431. Ernest Financial, LLC.
We have got a pristine weekend forecast in a month that can be very turbulent. Expect sunshine in abundance today with a high temperature up to about 80. Tonight slow down to about 52. The warming trend continues over the weekend. Mid-80s Saturday and Sunday. Mid-70s down on the coast with more sunshine. 50s at night. Continued storm-free and dry. We do need some rain, though. From the National Tropical Weather Conference, Rich Thomas for Blue Water Broadcasting.
CB&S Bank, serving families and communities since 1906. Proud to be named 16th best performing bank nationally in their asset category by American Banker. Learn more at cbsbank.com. CB&S Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Live local talk. The River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader in the house wearing that Jack Campbell from Mayor shirt. That's a blast from
You
the
were talking about the new mayor, and that kind of reminded me of, hey. You know,
I wish he was still around to run, man.
You and me both.
Miss that fellow.
A lot.
He was, what's the line? Those kind of cars don't pass you every day.
They don't. It's funny, whenever I get this shirt out, I mean, I have that 5 or 10 minutes from memory with Jack as I kind of get ready to go. And it makes me feel great wearing it. And also wearing it around town, so many people know it.
And I found mine. I need to wash it. It's been in a dank closet for a while.
It just reminds me of how many people really knew Jack. And they'll come up and talk to you about the shirt where they know you're not. So.
But speaking of Montgomery needs a new mayor, did you see that?
The pitch?
Yeah, you're still on that. Troy, did you see the pitch?
No.
You did not. Oh,
he threw the opening day pitch.
Let me see if I
bet he
find
was
it.
a little.
Okay, Tori. He didn't even make it to the mound.
Of course, he was a short.
He was at the grass.
He's
the
not a big
catcher
guy.
had to move up in front of the batter's box, and it still bounced.
He is not a physical specimen. I'll leave it at that.
Baseball, that's for sure.
But he dresses well.
Well, he did look good, but that
wears
throw.
floods, he wears floods.
He got some responses about the throw. I didn't hear a
Yeah,
whole lot of
that's one
applause.
of those risky propositions.
It is.
You better do it right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
But Joey had the best idea, and I don't know if nobody does.
Joey,
this.
what was your idea?
You practice before you.
Yeah, that's
everything.
Oh, if I had to go do it right now, I don't know how far.
Right,
I, could throw.
I need a week or so to get my arm.
Like, seriously, I haven't thrown a baseball in forever.
Right.
You're in front of the world and everybody. You got that one chance.
You need, especially if you're going to try to throw from the mound. Like you need to practice the windup.
That's right.
Oh yeah,
Because it's a full. People always think it's just the arm. No, it's a full body thing to actually get that force behind the thing. Even if you're not going to throw it, 80 miles an hour or 90 miles.
It's best just don't throw a bouncer. It's fine if you throw a high ball. It's fine if you throw it outside. Just don't throw it.
But if I had to do it like right now, like this afternoon, they wanted me to throw the first pitch of the Biscuit game, I would call it saying I'm going for a knuckleball. And I think that would cover.
That covers everything.
It's 60 feet 6 inches from home plate to the mound.
He might have been 34.
Yeah, I mean, 60 feet. So.
But the mayor, I saw a message from the mayor
Did you?
put out by his comms team this morning.
Yeah.
Because, well, he seems very happy because it looks like that bill pushed by Will Barfoot, SB 298, it died, but right after they went sine die there at the legislature, died on the very last day on the House side.
Spineless leadership, Joey. That's what you get.
So the mayor put out this statement following the conclusion of the legislative session, quoting the mayor's statement. As the legislative session comes to a close, let me begin by thanking all members of the Alabama legislature for the work they do across our state. See, this is a very happy one and a very thankful one. I want to highlight the leadership of both chambers for their engagement, and they're taking the time to listen to Montgomery's perspective on a number of issues. Those conversations matter, and they help ensure a more thoughtful approach to the challenges we face. The session brought serious conversations about public safety and the role of state and local government in delivering results for our communities. To Lieutenant Governor Will Ainsworth, Senate President Pro Tem Garland Gudger, House Speaker Nathaniel Ledbetter, and all members of the Senate and House of Representatives, thank you for guiding this session and creating space for important dialogue on issues impacting cities across Alabama. Public safety is too important for one-size-fits-all approaches, writes the mayor. Real progress comes from strong partnerships, smart investments, and strategies that reflect the realities on the ground. I'm grateful for the leadership of the Montgomery Legislative Delegation, as well as the support of Council President C.C. Calhoun, Councilor Charles Jenride, and other members of the Montgomery City Council for standing with our community and helping ensure our voice was clearly represented throughout this process. You all right?
No.
I also appreciate the thoughtful engagement, says the mayor, and input from leaders from across our state, including mayors like Tommy Battle, Minority Leader Anthony Daniels, and State Representative Rex Reynolds, along with other members of the Huntsville delegation who recognize the importance of collaboration and shared responsibility in strengthening public safety. In Montgomery, we are making progress, but that progress cannot come soon enough, writes the mayor, Mayor Stephen Reed. We are investing in our police department, strengthening partnerships across agencies, and seeing results because of that work. We appreciate all those in the community who have helped us accelerate that progress, and we will not rest until more progress is made, more people feel safer, and more lives are protected. We remain committed to continuing that progress and to working with state leaders who are focused on solutions that respect local communities and deliver real outcomes. We look forward to continuing these conversations throughout this year and into the next legislative session. Our focus is clear: safer neighborhoods, stronger partnerships, and results that speak for themselves.
Yeah, they do. That's why so many people are moving the hell out of this city. So what do we need to do now? Well, we need a cop, which I saw a wreck today. I was in a place for over an hour. Cop never showed up right there on the boulevard. So let's start producing or putting out the numbers of legislators.
But we're doing the traffic survey.
That's a lot of crap. That's
wait.
Yeah, dude, they just pissed on your leg and telling you it's raining.
Right, they just made 200-something grand without actually doing anything.
I saw they canceled that contract with the,
but they paid him $225 grand up front.
I just saw that yesterday.
But so we need to start calling legislators. We need a cop. Can we produce the cell phone numbers for legislators? Maybe if their phone rang off the freaking hook, they wouldn't be such soft.
It's like anything. It's
image. That's all they're worried about is image.
It takes perspective. What I mean is, my good friend Shane, who was the fire chief and the EMT lead down at Pentlala Fire Department, he told me the wait times for some ambulances.
It's
you'll
ridiculous,
be dead.
man.
You'll be dead. So he said, now when that happens to one of our legislators or to one of our county officials, then now we've got a problem.
It won't.
You know?
And I got a text from a friend this morning about 8:30 in the morning. I find it only fitting, says the text, that I be threatened at a gas station on McGee and Carter Hill after just finding out that SB 298 just died on the floor yesterday. Gotta love Montgomery when it twists the knife in the heart.
I'm trying to think. Carter Hill. Yeah, McGee.
Hey, I mean, so you put that.
That's right next to MA.
Yeah,
and no,
right,
and
MA.
I remember I used to live at Cloverdale. I also used to
Yeah.
live on Zelda Road in that apartment complex.
Yep.
That used to be a gas station to stop at. I remember I stopped going there because you started getting stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, especially those, let's say the rich, if we could put it that way, the upper crust of society here in Montgomery, sending all their lovely children, almost adult children, to Montgomery Academy. Gotta love that's going on right there at Carter Hill and McGee Road.
Do I need to be dispatched to solve a problem?
It's ridiculous.
I pray every day that someone will try that with me, and they don't.
So here's the other side of the coin. After legislation setting minimum staffing standards for law enforcement agencies in Montgomery and Huntsville died in the House on Thursday, you have some reaction. It was, of course, sponsored by State Senator Will Barfoot for Pike Road, and would have done minimum staffing for Alabama Class III
minimum.
city.
You can't even give me minimum staffing.
Yes. Yeah, that's. I mean, it's too punitive. Like you can't,
But it's like again, the emperor's got no clothes, and we're all going, oh, the clothes on him look great. Dude, we're in a screwed up situation. We're losing cops.
They're not. He wears
losing
sweaters. I've seen him.
Here's what Barfoot said, saying, quote, "I'm disappointed for the citizens and the business owners of Montgomery. I'm disappointed for the police department, those folks that wear a badge every day. It's disappointing. I'm disappointed for those as of yet unnamed victims of crime because Montgomery doesn't have the police force that they need, the numbers that they need. There will be victims because of that.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
It's a fact.
No doubt.
So I guess the mayor's word is progress and
What
Barfoot's
progress?
word is
Point to me some
disappointment.
progress you've seen in the city besides a little bit of paving. It's about all I've seen.
And
Crime's getting worse.
and
Homelessness and vagrants a little worse than ever before. Murders on road right out in front of us pretty regularly. 2 murders a week on Ann Street now. But hey, we're progressing.
Right.
Straight to hell.
Well, and when there are good headlines, you're often seeing it was a joint task force of the ATF and the FBI, or it was the ALEA and the sheriff's office working together with MPD. Of course, Mayors Reed and Chief Grayboys opposed this bill.
Of course they do.
Barfoot's bill was the last bill on the House calendar for Thursday, but the House adjourned for the session without voting on it.
Spineless. Every single one of them. Spineless.
Speaker Ledbetter said there wasn't enough time to pass the bill.
That's a load of crap.
Here's his line. We couldn't get it out. We didn't have enough time, to be honest with you, because it was going to be filibustered all the way through. I hate the cloture on the last day. I mean, sometimes we have to do that. I got to the end of the day and it just wasn't possible. We could see that.
So instead of fighting, we just laid down.
They start back in February, and it's certainly something to be monitored at the time and have an opportunity to do something with it then.
It was all about taking away that overtime from folks, but he won't do this. I got nothing for these people, man. Nothing.
Well, they gave back a little bit of overtime, I think.
$1,000, Joey, that would really cover me for one pay period.
I know.
One pay period. That's nothing. You might as well pee on my leg again and tell me it's raining.
I'm just trying to piss you off more.
Well, thanks. It's working. It's working.
Anyway, I think Montgomery needs new leadership, is what I think. No. If we have the session come back up in February next year?
Yeah, February.
And Montgomery's
It's
got
the same jokes that are running it, though?
Well, no, and I'm saying and Montgomery's got a lot more officers. Maybe there's not a problem. But I don't predict that.
I would get you $1,000 right now to say that we got no more
When Tommy
cops in
Tuberville returns here, and if it's like it is now, it's going to get an enema instead of a change of leadership. So
I think it's going to get a good fight, but I
think he will not tolerate the Capitol doing this.
If that were the case, and I agree, but he should have, even though he's not governor yet, he should have made some calls on this.
I'm sure he has. I'm sure Tommy has voiced his opinion very clearly with the people, but there's a storm coming.
Yeah.
They just don't realize it yet.
Hey, we got to hit this break. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, But whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
This is Matt Woodham with Woodham Southside Firestone. As a businessman, you need to watch your advertising dollar. We've been using Blue Water Broadcasting for many years. Blue Water Broadcasting is the biggest bang for your buck. Blue Water Broadcasting and Woodham Southside Firestone, great combination.
Radio works. It's as simple as that. Call us to find out how radio can work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know go.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online, the River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go to the phones. Talk to Bob. Hey, Bob, how you doing?
Am I on?
You are on, Bob.
Have y'all heard of the Mississippi Miracle?
I can't say that I have.
No.
I'm amazed. But let me tell you about it. So I've heard about it 2 or 3 years ago about education. And Mississippi used to be the last of the 50 states, and then Alabama was 49.
Are you talking about education?
Correct.
Okay.
All right. So who is now governor was head of the legislature. And I don't know, it's about 3 or 4 years ago, they drafted some legislation to go back to phonics and reading and go to the old traditional ways to learn math. Now, he was on Fox News with Trey Gowdy Sunday evening for interviewing. They are just now, nearly after like 4 years of this going back to traditional education teaching, they are now about the top in the nation in a matter of like 4 years. And not only that, they said their blacks are number 3 in the nation.
Yeah, the New York Times did a whole piece on this. Flabbergasted.
Interesting. This new governor they got, Tate, man, he's kicking it. Right. He's kicking it, man.
But I had heard of this. First when he said the Mississippi Miracle, I thought Governor Hogwallop had seen Jesus in his coast or something. I don't know.
They used to say, like you said, at least we're not Mississippi. Well, now it's West Virginia. Now you're equal as West Virginia. And
it shows you can put in the right procedures and things work.
It sure does. Good leadership.
But why don't we, Alabama, follow suit to do what works and quit playing around and letting everybody fail?
We have seen some improvement. I want to be fair where it is fair. Because of the Numeracy and the Literacy Act, this was also in that Times piece, the whole Southeast is doing better. And it's things like, hey, if you can't read, we're not passing you on to 4th grade.
That's another thing.
Right.
You're right. They will not pass you if you can't read.
Right, and we are doing that in Alabama, and Alabama's actually seeing pretty great improvements, and got to give credit there.
Well, I do. I know that they've improved, but I don't hear that they've improved to the point that Mississippi has.
They have not.
Too much
making headlines. That's
too much corruption in this state for that to happen.
Yep.
You're going to have to revamp a lot of things to make that happen.
Well, I got 2 friends. One of them was the liaison with the legislature for the Department of Revenue. And he retired, and he said, I am so happy to get out of that snake pit and not have to deal with it.
I can imagine so.
Another friend was a campaign manager for hire for people vying for public office, and he gave it up because he said he was so tired of it, took a job teaching in school. So he went from making a real good salary, but he was so tired of all that went on there that he just gave it up. Became a teacher.
When I was advocating for against SB 67, which basically gutted the Veterans Affairs and led before that to Admiral Kent Davis being removed, I realized after the hours I spent on Goat Hill talking to these legislators that if you don't play the reindeer games, you don't get the prizes. Right. And that's how that game works up there on Goat Hill. And they'll tell you one thing to your face and they will vote another way because there is an expectation to get your cut that you're going to do it. So
aren't they going to pretty much do what the Business Council and other very strong lobby groups want done?
Absolutely.
Pretty much every time.
Money talks, and there's no campaign, there's no limitations on the amount of money that can be given. And if you've got and no term limits, what do you think you're going to get when you get that kind of self-licking ice cream cone?
Yeah. Well, Bob, I got to run, man. I got to hit my top of the hour break, but I appreciate
Bob.
The call. Good call.
Joey. Y'all be blessed.
Yes,
thank you, Bob. You too, brother. Blessed as well. This is part of the program brought to you by Invista Advisors, and they're at Invista. Austin Baranco and the entire team. Of course, you've heard Brant McDonald, the chief strategist there. Oh, yeah. Top dog there on the airwaves here with Great Butte for years. I love Brant. Mm-hmm. And it's been awesome just reconnecting with Austin Baranco. Knew him in school.
That's right, you did.
And just seeing how successful he is, father of a growing family, and just doing great work there at Invista Advisors. So the entire team is interdisciplinary. So they have like CPAs, business consultants, and yes, investment advisors. They all work together to create a comprehensive financial plan for you. And it's not too early and it's not too late for you to actually sit down with them and create a long-term financial plan, whether you're concerned about end of life or retirement funds, or could be you want to get life insurance as you're starting out with the family. Across the board. Maybe you got all your money tied up in a small business, or you're managing an endowment or a nonprofit or something like that. They can help you across the board with all this stuff. So check them out today. Just start the conversation direct at 387-0094. That's 334-387-0094. And be sure to tell, the great team there at Invista that Joey Clark that fell on the radio sent you.
From the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew. In Washington, with the ceasefire in Iran still shaky, U.S. and Iranian negotiators are heading to Pakistan for high-level talks this weekend with Iranian officials. Many issues could derail the truce, and the negotiations are aimed at making a broader deal to stop the fighting permanently. Iran's semi-official Tasman news agency claimed that the talks were set for Saturday would not happen unless Israel stopped its attacks in Lebanon. Israel continuing to defend itself from the Hezbollah terrorists and their rocket attacks coming from South Lebanon. Tensions have escalated between Israel and the terrorist group, with intensified attacks today. At least 13 Lebanese security personnel were killed in an Israeli strike in South Lebanon. Those two countries technically at war since Israel was founded. On Wall Street right now, the Dow is down 313 points. This is SRN News.
You're not just overweight, you're in survival mode. No pill or crash diet's going to fix that. They don't address why your body is storing fat. At PhD Weight Loss, they treat unwanted weight as a symptom, a signal that your metabolism, hormones, and stress response need attention. Fix that, and the weight comes off naturally. Call PhD Weight Loss, mention Mike G, you'll get 2 weeks free, and they'll pay for your food. Call 864-644-1900, 864-644-1900, mention Mike G, or go to myphdweightloss.com.
Americans have a big healthcare problem. Over 100 million citizens carry medical debt while paying for overpriced and complicated health insurance. As Christians, we don't have to pay for a broken system. Christian Healthcare Ministries is an alternative to health insurance at half the cost. Plus, you can enroll at any time. Stand up to health insurance with a biblical solution. Join CHM today by visiting chministries.org/wellness. That's chministries.org/wellness.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. For tough, good-looking roofs, it's Tamco Shingles from Alabama Wholesale Lumber. For great folks and great prices, call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas Weather. We have got a pristine weekend forecast in a month that can be very turbulent. Expect sunshine in abundance today with a high temperature up to about 80. Tonight, slow down to about 52. The warming trend continues over the weekend. Mid-80s Saturday and Sunday. Mid-70s down on the coast with more sunshine. 50s at night. Continued storm-free and dry. We do need some rain, though. From the National Tropical Weather Conference, Rich Thomas for Blue Water Broadcasting.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Del Rey to Publix.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. The first Alabama medical cannabis dispensary is expected to open next month. The very first location to open will be Callie's Apothecary in Montgomery, tentatively scheduled to serve their first patient on May 4th. 8 other medical cannabis dispensaries are expected to open later this summer throughout the state. On the final day of the session, the Alabama legislature passed a bill requiring the 10 Commandments to be displayed in public schools. SB 99 requires the 10 Commandments displayed in every history classroom from 5th through 12th grade. The bill is currently on Governor Kay Ivey's desk awaiting her signature to become law. The Pride of Prattville Marching Band has been selected to perform in the 250th Salute to Independence Parade in Philadelphia. The band is scheduled to perform July 3rd and will march directly in front of Independence Hall. Prattville's marching band is the only band representing the state of Alabama. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Yes?
Yeah, I'm Bill. You called about some breakers tripping?
Oh, yes, Bill. My brother-in-law says you can do almost anything.
That's me. Not much I hadn't seen.
Do you really want someone who does almost anything in your electric box? Think about that, because each year thousands of home fires are caused by faulty wiring. That's why you want a professional, like the electricians at Crosby Electric.
Bill, how's it going? Bill, ooh, are you okay?
Oh, yeah, well, I didn't really need my eyebrows anyway.
At Crosby Electric, all technicians undergo rigorous safety training, as well as background checks, drug testing, and continuing education.
Bill, you think maybe I should call a real electrician?
No, these little slip-ups happen. Everybody does it.
Really?
No, not really. When you need professional electric work, or you just like someone to assess your home for safety, call the experts at Crosby Electric, 272-2085, or visit us at crosbyelectric.com.
The 22nd Annual Autism Crawfish Boil benefiting Easter Seals of Central Alabama is April 11th at Riverwalk Stadium. Proceeds from this fun family event benefit autism programs at Easter Seals of Central Alabama. Enjoy all-you-can-eat crawfish, live music, and even a baseball game. The Autism Crawfish Boil, April 11th at Riverwalk Stadium. Stay and eat or grab them to go. Scan or visit mudbugball.com to purchase tickets and get info on curbside pickup.
The employees of Adams Drugs would like to thank you for trusting us with your health care in 2025. We look forward to serving you and your family in 2026. You will continue to enjoy the same services such as immunizations, compounding, medication therapy management, delivery service, and wellness clinics, to name a few. Looking for that perfect gift for a loved one? Visit our Emily B. gift shop and find everything from Tyler candles to scout bags. Gift wrapping is available. If you have not visited Adams Drugs and experienced the award-winning customer service, we ask you to consider us for your prescription care in 2026. We have 12 convenient locations to serve you in the River region. 8 in Montgomery, 1 in Wetumpka, Prattville, Millbrook, and Pine Level, Marbury. Please find us at adamsdrugs.net for the location that is nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local, independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Now, there's a certain story that got my attention about the Fed chairman, Scott Bessent.
Yes.
Or it's not him. That's Jerome Powell. Scott
Right,
Bessent
Jerome
is the
Powell.
Treasury Secretary.
Right,
But
Jerome
the
Powell.
Fed chairman, alongside Scott Bessent,
Okay.
they called a joint emergency meeting
All right.
with top U.S. banks over this new Anthropic AI. I believe it is called Mythos.
Yes.
So here's the story from CNBC. Jerome Powell and Scott Bessent met with major U.S. bank CEOs this week to discuss the possible cyber risk raised by Anthropic's Mythos model. The bank heads were already in D.C. for a financial services forum meeting when a special gathering was called on Tuesday to discuss Mythos, who, according to people familiar who asked not to be named or blah, blah, blah. The CEOs had a dinner earlier in the week when they called to meet at the Treasury Department. One of the people said J.P. Morgan's Jamie Dimon was the only major banking CEO who could not attend the meeting. Bank of America's Brian Moynihan, Citigroup's Jane Fraser, Goldman Sachs' David Solomon, Morgan Stanley's Ted Pick, and Wells Fargo's Charlie Scharf.
All the heavy hitters.
Were all in attendance, Bloomberg reported. Bloomberg and the Financial Times were the first to report on this meeting. The Federal Reserve declined to comment, but the Treasury Department did not respond for a request for comment. The surprise meeting between the bank chiefs and the two most powerful federal monetary regulators was a signal that the advanced capabilities of AI are a top concern in the Trump administration and could threaten the foundations of the U.S. financial system, and everything else, by the way.
Yeah.
Everything else that it is based on any sort of information systems, which is like everything at this point, right?
Yeah, and I saw that Palantir supposedly is getting its lunch handed to him by Anthropics right now.
Really?
That's why that deal with the DOW, Department of War, when they broke off because they thought targeting was being acquired. It's a big deal, but I've been reading reports that Palantir's under duress right now.
No, yeah, because Trump just put out he was vague truthing, where he put out like praising Palantir, great warfighting capabilities, just ask our enemies.
It's good. I've used it. It's actually, guys, if you had a screen up here, let's just say it was there, I can take your phone number, I can take your address, I can take your name, I can put a descriptive in there, and it will start building a nexus of things and other numbers connected with you. It's amazing. Yep. It's an amazing.
Essentially, it's like everybody has a dossier ready to go on them, but But and also, and this is the pitch Palantir makes, they say it's more secure because it's not actually a dossier. It's only like it's discreetly creates it to that one person that brings it up.
Mines data is what it does.
It's not like that dossier is accessible in one everywhere.
It creates a dossier out of the data.
Out of the data that's
Yeah,
in the cloud
exactly right,
and in the system.
It's a fascinating piece of equipment, but yeah.
Still nerve-wracking in a way.
And
Like
then you have
you
facial
use that.
recognition with it. Now it starts dialing in stuff.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Put that into a drone and go, hey, go find me Joey.
it's got the little chip that knows where your home is.
Earlier this week, Anthropic rolled out their new artificial intelligence model, Claude Mythos Preview, in a limited capacity due to concerns that hackers could exploit its capabilities. Banking giant JP Morgan Chase was among the initial launch partners for the cybersecurity initiative known as Project Glasswing. Other partners include Apple, Google, Microsoft, and NVIDIA. They're all working together on this. Ahead of the release, the company briefed senior U.S. government officials on the model and its offensive and defensive cyber applications. An Anthropic official told CNBC that it's been in ongoing discussions with the U.S. government, including the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency and the Center for AI Standards and Innovation, about Claude Mythos Preview cyber capabilities. The dangers of getting this wrong are obvious, but if we get it right, there's a real opportunity to create a fundamentally more secure internet and world than we had before the advent of AI-powered cyber capabilities. The CEO of Anthropic put out there on X. The Trump administration's engagement about the Mythos model comes as Anthropic challenges the Department of Defense over its recent labeling of the AI lab as a supply chain risk to national security. President Trump and Defense Secretary Hegseth have publicly lambasted the company for insisting on limits to the use of its AI tech in war, and the president ordered federal departments to halt use of Anthropic's platforms. The DoD has continued to use Claude during the Iran war, though.
Yeah.
This week, a federal appeals court denied the company's request to temporarily block the blacklisting. In March, a federal judge in San Francisco granted Anthropic's request for a preliminary injunction in a separate case. The dual rulings mean Anthropic will remain barred from DoD contracts, but can keep working with other government agencies while each legal challenge moves forward. Late last month, cyber stocks slumped after Fortune discovered a draft blog from Anthropic, which revealed the model's advanced cyber capabilities and possible risks. Hackers have used Anthropic's models in the past to orchestrate AI-fueled attacks. In November, the company disclosed that a Chinese group used Claude to automate a hack on government and corporate targets.
Yep.
It's just, as soon as things start to calm down a little bit,
do they though?
It never will. It won't.
Do they ever?
Not in our lifetime, probably.
And we went over this earlier in the week, but it's worth revisiting because it's nicely produced video, all sorts of great graphics and stuff. And also, Troy, you weren't here when we brought this up. This is the new Ghost Murmur.
Oh, yeah, I was. We talked about that. Yeah,
went down the rabbit hole on that last.
But here is a explainer video.
Why exactly is this considered the CIA's most powerful surveillance weapon to date? Well, it has the ability to track and lock on the single heartbeat of one person, friend, or foe from 40 miles away. On April 2026, this concept became a reality. With this classified tech, U.S. forces didn't even need a radio signal. They could locate a single man hidden in a cave from 40 miles out just by zeroing in on his heartbeat. Our 3D animators created a simplified model of this overclocked system to show how it works. It uses engineered synthetic diamonds to create a long-range quantum sensor. Strapped to a helicopter, it can detect the tiny electromagnetic pulse of a beating heart from miles away. So why use this specific technology to find the missing weapons system officer instead of the usual tech? Well, it is because infrared cameras and satellites are completely useless when your target is buried deep inside a mountain. In short, the CIA can now track your actual heartbeat. If you're a friend, this tech could be the lifeline that brings you home. But if you're the enemy, not even the caves or the desert can hide you anymore.
So what's interesting about that is we call it acoustic sensors, but it's obviously got quantum mechanics involved in it. And the thing is this, in an environment like a desert where there's not a lot of background noise, it's extremely accurate. I know that. And then in some crowded conditions, it can get a little bit, takes more horsepower to get it done, but that's fascinating.
The noise.
And I've said this before, guys, and I mean this. The reason America's dominance on the battlefield and the technological front is so strong, there's four things really that separate us. Metallurgy is very, very important.
Yep.
synthetic composite materials like ceramic. For instance, the Chinese and the Russians still cannot figure out how to keep longevity with their turbofans. We use a high grade ceramic so it doesn't melt or doesn't bend the metal, and they can't figure that out. And then electro-optics and targeting acquisition with our sensors, and then the acoustic and measurements and signatures. Those are the things that make America great. So.
But the thing is, it better be used the right way, because all these capabilities, like what you said about Palantir's create a dossier on anybody, like you have a unique heartbeat signature that could be tracked now, like all this stuff are the awesome powers that could be. You don't have to think about it for
that was a rescue mission, but we could target someone in a cave too. So
easily. So I don't know. I find it amazing capabilities, amazing technology, but it's also creeps me the hell out. Excuse me, pardon me.
Why do you think we know your heartbeat, Joey?
Well, they know my heartbeat. I wear this Whoop.
Right. I was going to say, it's not a secret no more.
Yours isn't a secret either.
And that's why I don't wear that watch.
I have dysrhythmia, so they can do my heartbeat all
No, that
well,
makes it even easier.
No, they're going to lose it because it's very erratic.
My mom bought me
He knows how to control his heartbeat. Beat the quantum.
No, he does. He's like does a suspended animation guru thing. He sits there and crosses his legs and
So you guys been watching me, have you?
My mom got me one of those for Christmas, Joey, and I said I won't wear this. They can track me. So,
by the way, that's a gift to anybody sitting out there like waiting on a deer in the woods or something, camping with somebody. It's like, the CIA's got that ghost murmur thing, but I've trained myself to be able to send out different sort of heartbeat signals. I know how to manipulate the very HRV that is driving this little ticker right here.
I wear a copper bracelet, therefore it acts as a jammer.
Yeah, right. Now, in other news, eligible young men will automatically be registered for the U.S. draft later this year.
How you guys feel about that?
I
mean, you already had to do it, right?
You had to do it, but
now it's
automatic.
Now it's being done for you.
I don't have a real issue with it, except I don't trust our politicians.
Well, I'll say this. And this is my thought. This generation has not had to. They don't understand what sacrifice is. So if it comes to a point where we have to go there, this is a good thing to have in place.
I don't think it's the worst. Now, I will be honest. When I turned 18 as a military family, it took me a minute to realize, I had to do that. But I never, because it was a forced thing. But I felt like if my country ever needed me, of course I'd be there. But this is my way, or this is our way of letting the country know I'll be there too. I'm signing up. Here's my name. Here's everything.
Two things that are, when you say that, and I think about it, we're an all-volunteer force, right? Yep. But in times like Vietnam, when we had a draft, there's always conflict created between draft soldiers and regular soldiers. And that can be problematic. But if we're in an existential fight against China, then we're going to need every swinging Richard.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, well, if we're in a true existential fight against China, you better not wait to be drafted.
That's right. You better.
If that makes any sense. Like, and a lot of people were conscripted in World War II, but a heck of a lot more went and signed up.
Yeah. That's the difference in that generation.
9/11. Look what happened after 9/11.
There's a lot of
volunteered.
Yeah. Look what happened after Trump came in power. Everybody started joining.
In many ways, I hate conscription because I think it's almost a case of stolen goods in the sense of like the virtue of not just the virtue of a volunteer force that is like doing this of their own volition. There is something truly fierce about that. Free men fighting are a whole different thing. It goes back to what the fighting between the Spartans and the Persians. Like conscripted armies tend not to be as creative, not to be able to the way they look out for one another too, and also on the fly when you lose. Contact with command, like there's just so much virtue to free men fighting. But I think the even worst example, is World War I, because World War II people already had that experience. World War I, you still had this old mentality.
The war to end all wars,
and you had the mentality of of kind of the Napoleonic age,
right?
And that the technology had outpaced to a degree where, oh my goodness. And you got to wonder, do we ever get to that sort of point again where the technology is outpacing our even basic mentalities of war, even from the 20th century and the early 21st century? So it's let's just hope that day never comes. I did see in news about China is that Xi Jinping has been meeting with the opposition leader in Taiwan. So
Yeah, I
very
saw that.
what very well could be, and I think this is what China prefers, is they want to just take over politically without firing a shot. Will that happen? I don't know. I don't know inter-Taiwanese politics by any means. You don't think it'll happen ever?
Ever? Yeah, it will happen eventually, but not in the next 10 years.
Well, China's not getting any younger.
No, but
their population decline is astounding.
Yeah, it's really got a drop off at a point.
Mm-hmm.
So we've you know how many times we've had a draft in the United States. So anybody care to?
If I had to guess, I'm going to guess. I'm going to say 5. But
That's close. It's real close. It's 6. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm looking at it right now.
But also, I look at our youth today, and even as when I was youth.
Yeah.
We need some direction.
Well, listen, we got soft marshmallow people. Yeah. Is what we got. These kids aren't playing sports. They're not doing certain things. They're going to get their asses kicked.
Yeah.
If they're not careful. So, American Revolutionary War, American Civil War, World War I, World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. So, how many times?
Though I love the example of how every kid, every young man was essentially did mechanic work and had worked on cars before in like the 40s and the 30s and the 40s. So when, Patton's got his army, like you've got really capable people.
Yeah.
And could the modern example of that be like every young man, even myself, though I sucked at first person shooters, every young man has played video games.
Sure.
And it might be something with the new tech where it's more like you're playing a video game.
It's possible. It is. And I think also, Joey, you make a point that each generation has its own unique skill sets, and that's what I think you're on to something. The new age fighting was going to be much more asymmetric and a lot more.
And Ukraine reveals that. I mean, I was listening to the wrong people on that. Well, and honestly, I think not even as a cop out. I'll admit I was wrong on a lot of that stuff, but I think everybody was wrong
on what?
On Russia and Ukraine.
What do you mean wrong?
Over the entire time of this war, duration of this war.
Oh, the duration.
The very beginning, everybody's like, Russia's just roll right over. And then it doesn't happen. And then, well, the Ukrainians are going to be able to do this. No, they weren't able to do that. And then it's now hit this interesting stalemate point because, and what has been confounding, I mean, some of it was that initial strike, Putin didn't go in full bore.
Right.
If he maybe had gone in full bore, he could have done a decapitation, but he didn't. He sent him, 80,000, 90,000?
He did, but he got bad intel. He got bad.
He thought it
intel.
would be like Crimea.
And what his intel failed to tell him is NATO had been training up their force since 2014 when Crimea was taken, and they were ready with javelins, and they nailed them, man.
Right, and so look at what Ukraine's doing now. They're using essentially drones to create a no man's land, a kill zone 10 miles behind the line of contact.
Yep.
And it's like anybody, so you have no way if you're trying to, in Russia, to take territory to get supplies to the small units that you're using to take
the G-locks, we call that G-locks, ground lines of communication have been severed. And I'm telling you, Russia will start to, and it is losing area.
And that's after they were taking area.
That's right. That's right.
And it's interesting because the Ukrainians, I don't know how much juice they have to actually do a full-on offensive themselves at this point. So but that war is a great example of how the tech, beyond just the human decisions and bad intel, the tech had created this confounding factor that really changed the nature of that game. And I think we're seeing it with this Iran war. As much as I believe the folks in the White House that their capabilities, Iran's capabilities, conventional capabilities, are destroyed utterly.
They are. We've sent it back.
You got a few speedboats, some cheap drones, some you're able to close the Strait of Hormuz and be a real pain in everybody's ass. So
and American population, the American populace in general has little stomach for. Oh no, there was. Do you know how many people were killed in Israel and all the barrages? And they sustained, I think, 4,000 different barrages throughout the war. 24 people. Excuse me, I'm sorry, but people die in bus wrecks like that. You got to look at the end state compared to the cost, the return on the investment, and I don't think people have stomach for war. They just don't have it. And I don't like it, but I'm telling you now, that country, those people that are running that country, they don't even recognize the right for Israel to exist. That is a mantra, they say. So it's problematic for me.
Let's go to Sam. Hey, Sam, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. Y'all sound great today.
Thank you, bro.
I'm trying to get in touch with a guy named Joey Clark. They say he's the heartbeat of Montgomery. And
Like Don Johnson heartbeat?
like
that
I had
great 80s
something
song?
nice. I had some more crap, and I just forgot all of it. Yeah, the heart. He's anyway, whatever.
Put that on your playlist, Joey.
Trying to throw a compliment. I just
Heartbeat.
looked at all.
Because you sang it yesterday. That was in my playlist on the way home.
They're tracking him. Press gang. That's what I'm all for.
Okay.
All this about the draft and whatnot. That's lightweight. I'm pro press gangs. That's where a gang of jokers, they go and they just start pulling people and knocking them in the head. And you wake up on a ship. That's
Shanghai.
Yeah.
baby.
That's just Shanghai folks there, man.
Oh, the press gang. Well, I was thinking about that. I would Montgomery police. They should try this method. Snatch them up some locals and make them police. You gonna be police and get them trained
I don't know
up.
if that'll work too well. I gotta be honest.
I know. That's all I've got. For some reason, I thought it was going to be better.
Happens to me all the time, Sam.
Oh man, listen, the military. Just my little bit of reading history. Every time there's a major advance, there's a lot of pushback in the higher echelon. We're in the age of drones. I just want to throw that in there too.
Everything's cyclic, right, Sam? Everything's cyclic. You have measures and you have countermeasures, right? And this is part of the evolution, a paradigm shift in combat.
The absolute. I've been way too much YouTube the last couple of years, and has been watching that evolution, what's being used and how it's happening in the Ukraine, like everybody else.
Amazing. It is it's a
Oh,
laboratory. It's the ultimate learning laboratory. You're in the military. How do you know whether something works? You watch it in combat and see how it
Yeah,
does.
well, Desert Storm, there were weapon systems.
And you can bet your bottom dollar, Joey and Sam and Eddie, that they are testing American equipment over there.
100%.
That's not even been.
100%.
Well, what I wanted to share, though, anybody hadn't seen it, and this was to stop the drones from being interrupted with counter electronics and radio.
Fiber optic.
Yeah, they were using a small fiber optic line.
So you remember what a tow missile is, right? You know what a tow missile is, right?
Yeah.
That comes out on a fiber optic line, right? The problem with that typically is it needs a direct line of sight to the target, and it can't go over water, right? And but drones can fly up and carry that wire with them. I don't know how they do it that far, but they can go as far as 10, 12 kilometers with it. So ridiculous.
Because they can control altitude as they go. They can lift and move.
But the actual fiber optic itself, that's what I was getting back to, because that technology and the Chinese are making this, but it must be microscopic.
It's got to be tiny. Yeah.
But I saw the guys walking through the fields in the Ukraine, and it's amazing how much of it amasses around their legs. These long strands. It's still very strong.
Spiderwebs, man.
And pardon?
It'd be like spiderwebs.
Yeah. Restrict your movement for sure.
But it goes back to that's something I hadn't even thought was possible because of the weight. But the spools, they look like a big line right out of the fishing section of Walmart.
Does.
But it's all right. Thanks for letting me finish that off.
All right, Sammy.
Yeah,
good
what
call.
I got. I've got to go water the garden. That's what I'm up to.
Don't forget to go feed the fish down by the pond.
Well, have a good weekend, Sam.
Yeah, man. Listen, God bless y'all. All right.
See you, brother.
Bye, buddy.
272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services and their Pest Pro Ashley and that great team ready to help you out. Well, get set right when it comes to getting those insects away from your place.
Yep.
You don't want them inside.
You don't.
You don't want the spiders. You don't want the cockroaches.
Yep.
You don't want those wasps getting in there.
No, Joey don't. For sure.
Yeah, I've got a problem. I admit it. But, wouldn't you if you kept being attacked by them?
They seem to have it out for you, brother.
Yeah, the red ones are the worst.
Absolutely.
Yeah. They're feisty.
But maybe you got like kids or dog and you don't want fire ants in your backyard.
No, don't want
that. Could really ruin. It's like you're having a great, you're having like do they still do these like a water gun birthday party for your 5-year-old son?
Yeah. Right.
And people got water balloons all of a sudden, but all of a sudden one kid just steps in it.
Ankles ate up.
Yeah.
That's no fun.
That's the afternoon ruined right there.
So let them come out, take care of your property, get that basic pest control service. And of course, if you're bedeviled by mosquitoes, they can help you out there.
Yes, they can.
As well as termite protection and inspection. So check them out today. You can always learn more about Pest Pro at ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. Very active Facebook page, very fun Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you can always call them direct at 265-9990. That's 265-9990. And be sure to tell Ashley and that great team that Joey, Eddie, and Troy, the fellas on the radio, sent you.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
I suffered with plantar fasciitis for almost 20 years. I would try drugstore insoles and supports.
If you suffer with plantar fasciitis, we know the search for pain relief can feel like a hopeless ordeal.
I've been through surgeries, foot injections. I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life.
At the Good Feet store, we hear stories every day of all kinds of cheap inserts, expensive shoes, and other failed remedies people have tried that just didn't work.
I was trying all different things. Not a single one worked. And then I was driving past the Good Feet store, and I thought, why not? Give it a try. They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support for my feet. Then it was like, okay, this is different. These make a difference.
I'm so glad I met Good Feet. It changed my life.
Don't lose hope. Give the Good Feet store a try.
We're located at 7341 East Chase Parkway in the shops at East Chase. Now hiring.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking with a prospector.
That's right, man. I'm prospecting for gold. You dig?
No, but it looks like you do.
And you know the first thing I'm going to do when I strike it rich?
What's that?
I'm going to hire David Ernest to be my money man.
You mean everyone's favorite asset preservationist?
That is correct, man. I'm going to call him up at 833-596-7233. 833-596-SAFE.
You know, I've heard a lot of the good things about David Ernest.
You know, he's the best money man around with over 40 years of experience.
Experience is necessary, especially when you're digging for gold.
That's right, man.
And I can see that you don't have very much experience.
What do you mean, man?
Well, you have the little plastic bucket and shovel like a kid would take to the beach.
Yeah, man. Well, I want to start out small and then kind of pace myself up until I strike it rich.
Well, maybe you should call David Ernest first.
You think he's got a shovel?
Never know till you ask.
I dig, man.
2026 marks 60 years that hope has had a home in Alabama. At the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches, children who've lost everything through no fault of their own have found something priceless. A safe place to live, a loving Christian family, and the chance to simply be kids again. Here, boys and girls grow up surrounded by care, guidance, and faith, learning right from wrong, learning responsibility, learning they are valued and that their lives have purpose. As the Alabama sheriffs have believed for 6 decades, it's easier to build boys and girls than to repair men and women. These former ranchers are now teachers, parents, business owners, and leaders, living proof that love, structure, and faith can change a life forever. As the Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches celebrate 60 years of serving Alabama's children, you can help ensure the next child has the same chance. Learn how you can make a difference at alabamasheriffsyouthranches.org. 60 years of building lives, and we're just getting started.
All right, folks, as we approach Liberty Island, you'll see the iconic Statue of Liberty, standing tall at over 300 feet. The torch in her hand symbolizes a beacon of hope that's held up by her very wavy arm.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay, or a Vance-encapsid pagel, is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. It's proven to slow GA progression and could preserve your remaining vision for longer, so you can keep seeing the world around you. Don't take Izervay if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't wait for your vision changes to progress. Ask your retina specialist about Izervay today. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
At Blue Water Broadcasting, we believe great advertising starts with relationships. That's why so many local business owners trust us, not just for radio, but for digital too. If you're already running digital advertising and you're not seeing results, it may be time to explore your option. Our team takes the time to understand your business, then builds custom campaigns using a multi-channel conversion-focused approach. So whether it's digital display, social media, or you need help increasing your online presence, Blue Water Broadcasting can help. Before your next campaign, let's have a conversation. Visit bluewaterbroadcasting.com.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Feeling the pressure of high credit card rates? ASE Credit Union has you covered with a low 1.99% APR on balance transfers. Move your balances in March or April and lock in that 1.99% rate through your October statement. Visit ASE Credit Union today. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
News happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACB.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. In a little bit, we'll have to get to the fact that Kamala is back.
I'm a better looking person than Kamala.
Yeah, apparently there's a big convention, Al Sharpton, the Reverend Al Sharpton.
Oh, the Rev, yeah.
Now that Jesse's gone, he's the preeminent voice.
Yeah. I think we need a new generation.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people.
But all like 8 different Democrats stopped by to sit down with the Reverend Al Sharpton.
Really?
And one of them was Kamala. And she does a Trump impersonation.
Oh, does she?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
You're going to love it. Let's go to Bob. Hey, Bob, how you doing?
Man, I want to hear that. You're gonna play that?
Yeah, I will in a second. Yeah.
Look, I don't know. Do you know where what's name Giggity Giggity is from?
Who's Tiggity Giggity?
Who's Giggity Giggity?
You know, the Giddy guy, Giddy Giddy, that you just mentioned. This is whatchamacallit, brain fart going on, and all Sharp.
Oh, Sharp.
Sharp. Really? You know where he's from?
Where?
Alabama.
That was
I thought that. I thought
that's not surprising.
Do not know where, but just maybe it was last year. So his mama, bless her heart, unless she had anything to do with him growing up the way he did, died, and he came down here for the funeral. Boy, that's a semi. Anyway,
didn't know that.
Neither did I.
Look, Troy.
Yes, sir.
Can I've been wondering with talk's been so much, and we had a pullback. I know we cut them off or whatever with the Ukrainians. Excuse me, as Joe Biden said the first time that he talked about it, he said the uranium.
He did.
Oops. Anyway, and I know we cut them off, but you know if we are sending any military assistance or whatever now over there at all?
Yes, that's a good question. And here's what I've discovered through certain channels. There's actually several Americans that fight for them, and there's one guy I follow very closely and communicate with. There is through crowdsourcing still a lot of funds and equipment coming in from America, particularly out of the Chicago area, which has a lot of Ukrainian and Latvian and Lithuanian and Estonian up there. So that's unofficial. That's unofficial, but there's lots of money and lots of gear getting sent to them. Here's the other thing. There's a guy called Warthog Defense. It's on YouTube. I highly recommend it. His name is Seth, and he puts together fundraisers all the time. They buy ambulances for their medical corps. There's a huge community of support. Now, officially from the United States, they have they put that on hold, but there's still shipments that have been paid and have not made it there yet. They're still going to them. That's that's my understanding. So,
yes, that can be boatloads.
It could be several C-17 and C-5 loads of them. Yes.
So yeah, and that's what I want to know. Was there? Can you catch me?
Yeah. What's your thought? What's your thoughts on that? What is your thoughts on that? I'd be interested to hear how you feel about the Ukraine-Russia thing.
Well, for God's sakes, the dangerous thing is that I'm a white boy, redneck here and all.
There's nothing
born
wrong
and
with
raised in
that.
Alabama.
There's nothing wrong with that.
And so I noticed that on all the whatever you fill out and all like that, I haven't filled out an application in so long, and all that it's African American, Eskimo, Indian, whatever, and all, non-white, Latino, blah blah blah, and all, and it's always white. There's no, and I on occasion put down Caucasian. I understand that comes from the mountains.
It's the Caucasus. It's from the Caucasus, yeah.
Caucasus Mountains and all like that. So, the fighting them, and the same thing with the Nazis. My God, they look just like us and all. But when you start acting like a butthead, then you need to be set down. Sometimes with prejudice.
Yep.
But look, all that stuff you were talking about, the cool stuff and all. I wanted to know if the Ukrainians had access to that, and if they I figured if it was going to any of the NATO countries, then they could do with it what they want to, and that's how they get stuff sent to them.
Yeah. Well, it's a two-way street. So what we're getting in return from them is reams and terabytes of data on combat effectiveness of equipment and tactics and techniques and procedures. So it's kind of a symbiotic relationship. And let's be honest, the military-industrial complex is licking their chops, still trying to do it. And Joey and I talk about that all the time. Is Lindsey Graham is happy. He wants more war. So.
Yeah. Mike, what's his name? The congressman from here, and all that.
Mike Rogers. Yeah, Mike Rogers. Yeah.
He's a sucker. What a egg sucker.
He is. Hey, brother, listen. You're saying it's something I'd say much nicer than I'd say about it. Yeah, but go ahead.
Oh, I am toning it down.
Yeah.
But look, and I understand that because hell, I work down that towards that way on 231.
Yep.
And the rocket places right down there and all like that. And that's that. I bet they are pumping out.
Well,
and
you know
God
what?
bless them.
It's funny you say that, Joey. I listened to a podcast, and I think you'll appreciate this, sir. And it's called War on the Rocks. And Ryan Evans is a good friend of mine. He runs it, and he said he's very well connected with the DC. He's out of DC. He had on the Army Chief Technical Officer, who's a young guy they just brought from the outside to help invigorate it. And here's the biggest challenge, guys. Matching our ability for demand with production, right? And we've got to ramp up. And right now we've been running one shift for each of these plants, like from 8 to 5. No, it needs to be pumping out 24 hours a day, and they need to increase lines. And that's the hard part, because then you've got limited materials like rare earth minerals.
On the
So
advanced
it's a
stuff.
big challenge, supply chain wise. So it's something.
Yeah, I understand that. That is anyway. Putting all together, that tech officer, is he military? Or
No, he was former military. Now he was a intelligence analyst, but now he is like a GS-15, a general service. But he brought in a whole new idea instead of, listen, the Army acquisition system is so bad, Joey. We've got a new rifle we're fielding this year. It's 12 years in the making. That round is already antique. So I don't know.
Need to speed it up.
Well, obsolete, man. Well, I didn't know how much outright overt military that we're getting. I figured the Peckerhead Democrats would have shut them down with that out in the open, but that there would be covert, and then how much civilian assistance they could
That's
get.
that's
that
the
would be
big
out
story
of the-
there. That's the big story. There's a private there's a
Lord.
private funds stream that's amazing if you look into it. So they're doing okay, I think.
Well, I appreciate the call, Bob.
Yeah, thanks,
Good
Bob.
call.
Thank you, bud.
Awesome, good call.
Bless y'all.
God bless you. 272-9228. This entire hour brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage.
Oh, yeah.
And speaking of military matters, they can really help veterans out
Yeah,
there at
that's what they
Alabama.
specialize
Best game in town, buddy.
Y'all seen them do it. And, you know, there are a lot of veterans still walking around thinking, well, the VA system's broken. I know how I went to go into the VA hospital. No. Maybe that's true about the hospital side, the medical side, but the VA mortgage is not broken at all.
Second to none.
It is the best deal in town. If you're a veteran and you're not taking advantage of the VA mortgage, you're leaving money on the table. So don't do that anymore. They have some of the strongest home financing options available through the VA mortgage program, offering benefits like no down payment purchases, which is awesome, and 100% cash out refinance.
Yeah.
So if you do have a lot of equity built up in your home, or maybe you don't have like a crazy amount, but you can still get that 100% cash out to get debt off your back, to maybe you're in a jam and you like really need a new car or something, or like you're in a jam and you really need to upgrade your property, or could be you're not in a jam, you just want to go on that big European tour in Rome or something. Whatever your goals, they can help you there at Alabama Home Mortgage. And of course, they serve more than just Alabama. They now are licensed to serve in Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, as well as, of course, our home, Alabama.
That's right.
So y'all check out Kim and Madeline today. Just get in touch with them direct, whether you're looking to buy or refinance a home. 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies like Kim and Madeline. Prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Clark Heating, Air, and Plumbing. It's time to schedule your spring tune-up with Clark Heating, Air, and Plumbing. Don't wait. Schedule today. Give them a call at 334-277-2125. Alabama certification number 88007.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. It continues to be an uneventful storm-free forecast. And even though we need rain desperately, the weekend forecast looks good. Tonight, mostly clear skies. Overnight, low temperature down to about 52. Plenty of sunshine, and the warm-up continues tomorrow with mid-80s Saturday and Sunday. Mid-70s down on the coast. Abundant sunshine. 50s at night. And this pattern continues well into next week. From the National Tropical Weather Conference, Rich Thomas for Blue Water Broadcasting.
Feeling the pressure of high credit card rates? ASE Credit Union has you covered with a low 1.99% APR on balance transfers. Move your balances in March or April and lock in that 1.99% rate through your October statement. Visit ASE Credit Union today. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Trust Montgomery's glass experts to provide you with fast and convenient service when and where you need it. Find out how affordable independent glass can be. Free estimates on storefronts, shower doors, furniture tops, plate glass, window glass, plexiglass, custom beveled mirrors, residential or commercial services. You come to them or Independent Glass will come to you. Call Independent Glass 263-2823, 263-2823, or stop by 2047 Bell Street near the entrance to Maxwell. Independent Glass.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
The premier place the river region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back.
I like that little last.
I know, that's
you
like
did.
the-
It was like the Johnny Carson show. It's like
Right, it was perfect little intro. Yeah, I did.
Here's Joey.
I like that one.
Here's Joey.
It was just a quick one.
I love it.
Anyway, before I forget, this part of the program brought to you by Cullen's Electronics and Appliances. Michael has
Michael's
busy
out today, yeah.
Yeah, he's off today.
Yep, he is. But he wanted us to talk about a few things. And one of the things that we don't talk about enough, as far as I'm concerned, is the price matching that they do. They'll match anybody's price in town, model for model, on anything. But the best part of their service to me is the install.
Absolutely.
Michael Jacks, he's the best. And you've kind of dealt
I've
with
seen
him,
him
right?
do it himself.
Right.
I've seen him do it twice.
And it's a one-stop shop. Say you're going to buy a TV, but you're thinking, well, I got to go over here to get a mount, and I got to go over here to get soundbar. No, you can get everything. One-stop shop right there at Cohen's. And like I said, again, you'll have Michael Jacks come hook it up, and show you how to use it.
Yeah, it's no price is going to be beat.
No.
And they've got the great products everybody else got.
Yep.
Again, same pricing, but then the service is clearly superior there at Cohen's.
100%.
Getting that TV from them, I've seen it firsthand. Or they can stop by, fix up a washing machine.
Yeah, that's just it. Say you buy something from Lowe's and you think, well, I got a better deal on it. They're not having any service. I've dealt with the Lowe's service. It's god-awful. Why deal with that when you got someone like Cohen's that'll come out there, deliver it when they say they're going to deliver it, put it in, and make sure you don't have a problem with it while it's there. And if you do have a problem 6 months later, you can call them up. They'll come out and take a look at it.
GL, check out Cohen's Electronics and Appliances today. You can always shop online, peruse online at thinkcohens.com, but I encourage you to get by there in person. 2515 Easter Boulevard here in Montgomery. Open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. Or maybe you already know what you want or just want to get in touch with them. 277-8890 is that number. And be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie and Troy, the fellas on the radio, sent you. Now, I'm going to remove you off the screen because I'm going to go to some video here.
All right.
Of Mamala for Kamala Harris.
Mamala.
Sorry, Freudian slip.
Mamala.
Yeah. Animal possession and things like that. I think that's what it's called in Jungian psychology.
You would be really messed up, man.
Oh, boy.
So she did a sit down. I just did 7 others, apparently, this convention Sharpton's put on.
Yeah.
But Kamala Harris is doing Kamala is doing a sit down with the Reverend Al Sharpton. Nice. And here's the big question that's on everybody's mind. Everybody wants to know, are you running again?
To talk to the American people. As I said in introducing you, you and I go back over a quarter century. Yes. And if there's anyone that has had open communication, is you and I. Mm-hmm. So are you going to run again in 28?
We hope so.
So, okay,
I tried to be subtle, but I just figured I'd go right at it.
Well, that's as subtle as Reverend Al Sharpton could ever be. We love you for many things, but not being subtle. Listen, I might. I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it.
Hang on, man. Oh, my God. I mean, doesn't that require the Democratic National Committee to make sure that's who they want?
Right.
I'm sorry.
Goodness. But that's only the beginning, folks.
Oh, it gets better.
That's only the beginning. But, I mean, just hearing that, and Eddie missed it. Somebody gave him reprieve to, not hear Kamala's answer.
That's my boy.
You don't like hearing her voice, Eddie?
I really don't.
It's annoying.
Well, she's asked, are you going to run again?
Okay,
I tried to be subtle, but I just figured I'd go right at it.
But that's as subtle as Reverend Al Sharpton could ever be.
I will love forever Michael Malice. I might have to find the clip where he's on with Rogan. He's like, "You think Kamala's got this?" Remember that first week where they really pushed it? He goes, "No, she's retarded." And she has all 3 stages of drunk.
Oh, yeah.
She is the really happy and all this stuff like that. And then I'm going to go to your aunt scolding you.
Yeah, she'll turn on you drunk. Yeah.
Right. And then they're like, I'm about to go to sleep. So let me tell you one last profound thing. Right. And I don't know if that's just her cadence or she just likes to drink a lot.
I think she's a partier, man.
But here is apparently Kamala Harris.
Okay.
Doing an impersonation of Donald John Trump. Now, everybody's doing a Trump these days, though Trump's getting a little harder to do because he's getting a little quieter.
Mm-hmm.
He's not as bombastic as he used to be.
I don't know, he's pretty hot on Easter.
Well, I was near the Easter Bunny. You should have seen that bunny in person.
He wasn't scared of him like Joe was. He's not at all. I'm going to bomb them suckers. I'm going to go over and kick their butt.
Not at all.
Now, here is, let's see the performance here from Kamala Harris.
You know, the way that he's thinking of foreign policy, it seems,
Mm-hmm.
is when he talks about America first, it's to withdraw from these relationships and these connections. And then he kind of, Rev, acts like a mob boss.
Mm-hmm.
So then he's kind of like, well, you know, you take Eastern Europe, and I'll take the Western Hemisphere.
He's not black.
Now, that was only in one channel, so maybe y'all...
Okay, good.
I heard it,
I've
but
got my
the only channel,
our great equipment here.
Yeah.
The only channel works on mine is the one that was working.
No, and actually, I think it might have been a blessing in disguise again. For if people who couldn't hear it on the radio.
How is that Trump's cadence in the least bit?
Or how is that even a mob boss?
Oh, she sounded like
she wasn't even close.
Day, she was talking about the.
I'll make that call.
You come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding.
Yeah, yes.
Like that, she didn't even get close.
But one day, when I call, you better be
there. That was awful. I can see her sobriety's not working out.
It's not going to be her.
Look how she kind of like get the shakes and stuff.
Right, but it can't be her.
It's not going to be her.
But I think she's going to have to. She'll go out. They'll put her out there with whoever's going to run, which will be a huge mistake.
Oh, you think they'll make her a running mate again?
No, I think they're just going to go and you're going to support our.
You'll be a surrogate for whoever.
Because she can't run. I don't think she wants to run.
Mm-hmm.
Interrupt her drinking.
But the 2028 Kamala speculation is rising, and she said there to Al Sharpton that she might very well do it.
Would you not mind her running again? I would wouldn't bother me none.
I wouldn't. No, thank you.
Really?
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
You never she's going to win?
No, I just don't even want to. I don't care about the winning and losing part of it.
You just don't want her to participate.
I don't want to hear about it. But also speaking today, another veteran of the former Biden administration, Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg.
Oh, what old Buttigieg say?
I don't know, and I don't care.
Thank you.
You're also going to have Josh Shapiro, governor of Pennsylvania, and the governor of Illinois, J.B. Pritzker, and the governor of Maryland, Wes Moore, along with Ro Khanna of California. They all have they've spoken over the past 2 days. While Governor Andy Beshear of Kentucky and Senator Mark Kelly of Arizona are scheduled to appear Saturday. So yeah,
like the Wrath of Khan or something.
Now here's the next thing from Kamala. She's going to use the F word.
What? Talk about the.
She says.
Now I'm interested.
I would prefer to just talk about the cronies who are allowing this to happen. Members of Congress, Rev, I'm going to use the F word, who are feckless. It's an appropriate F word. Who don't, and I served, as you mentioned, Rev, in the United States Senate for 4 years. I know a number of these folks. And I know that so many of them know what's wrong with this.
Mm-hmm. Can't even use the right F word.
Joey.
Anyway, final hour coming up.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Vice President J.D. Vance is warning Iran to negotiate in earnest this weekend as the two sides sit down for talks in Pakistan aimed at ending the war once and for all. The vice president says the U.S. is willing to extend what he calls an open hand if the Iranians are willing to negotiate in good faith. But he also warned Iran not to try and, in his words, play the U.S. delegation. Former Vice President Kamala Harris says she hasn't ruled out another run for the White House in 2028. Speaking to attendees at the National Action Network convention today, she says she is, in her words, thinking about it. Ukraine's president says forces have been helping Middle East countries against Iran, and he says that's true because Ukraine has learned so much about defending against drone attacks in its war with Russia. That's helping stave off some of those Iranian drone attacks right now. This is SRN News.
I'm Mike Gallagher here, host of the Mike Gallagher Show. As we head into spring, there's some good news in the housing market. Rates have recently dropped. When rates drop, payments can drop. That can mean hundreds of dollars a month back in your pocket, money you can use to pay bills, reduce debt, or strengthen your financial position. That's why this is the time to talk to my friends at Fellowship Home Loans. They're helping homeowners refinance into lower rates and reduce their monthly mortgage payments. Fellowship also offers a fixed rate line of credit for home projects or consolidating a high interest debt with fast approval and a predictable rate. Remember, many people still qualify to skip their next 2 mortgage payments. That's 2 months of breathing room while you reposition financially. I've used Fellowship personally. I trust these guys. Before you make your next move, go to fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, or call 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-MIKE. Fellowship Home Loans, mortgage lending by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 8193.
Rich Thomas Weather brought to you by M&M Outdoors. Book your stay today at MNMCampground.com for relaxation at its best. It's easy to find and hard to leave. M&M Outdoors, your home away from home.
Well, hi, everybody. It continues to be an uneventful storm-free forecast. And even though we need rain desperately, the weekend forecast looks good. Tonight, mostly clear skies. Overnight, low temperature down to about 52. Plenty of sunshine, and the warm-up continues tomorrow with mid-80s Saturday and Sunday, mid-70s down on the coast, abundant sunshine, 50s at night, and this pattern continues well into next week. From the National Tropical Weather Conference, Rich Thomas for Blue Water Broadcasting.
1819 News.
A bill is being sent to Governor Ivey's desk that would require the display of the 10 Commandments in schools across Alabama. The display must be purchased or donated to the school by an outside source. No school money is to be used for this display. The 10 Commandments would be placed in a common area of the school for all students to see, as well as in history classrooms, with an accompanying historical context statement. Democratic lawmakers in the state legislature were very much opposed to the passage of the bill, saying the 10 Commandments have led to wars and the slaughter of civilizations. State Representative Ernie Yarbrough supported the bill and said it's high time as adults to tell our children that our rights and freedoms are rooted in God and the faith of our country. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Did you know that 70% of people experience a potentially traumatic event in their lifetime, and that 6 out of every 100 adults face PTSD every day? Help us bring hope to these survivors by signing up for your Alabama Distinctive PTSD Awareness License Plate today. The great thing is you can sign up no matter when your current plate renews, and the first year is complimentary. All you need is your VIN number on hand. Drive awareness, drive hope, and customize your plate today at atease.org.
A missing man from Abbeville has been found dead in South Carolina. 66-year-old Mark McCall went missing in early March. He was last seen in his vehicle, which has since been located in the Myrtle Beach area. Investigators there believe that McCall died on March 7th. The cause of his death is not known at this time. The discovery of human remains in Memphis, Tennessee may be related to a missing man case out of Huntsville. Ronald Dumas Jr. went missing in December of 2024, and investigators believe that Dumas was taken against his will to the Memphis area. This week, a woman found the human remains while walking her dog. The Dumas family attorneys, along with the Huntsville police, are watching the development of this case. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
We get a lot of questions about what all we handle at Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. I'm Hannah Grantham.
And I'm Eddie Bader, and we will handle all of your real estate needs.
We handle all your buying and selling needs, from your first home, next home, land, investment property, and even commercial properties.
We do it all and have the experience that shows you what makes us different.
So when you think real estate, think Hannah and Eddie Realty Group. Look us up on Facebook or give us a call at 334-368-6358. And let us show you who you have on your sign matters.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
welcome back. Now, apparently it's 5 hours and counting till the splashdown of Artemis 2. And here last night, Jesse Waters actually did a pretty good breakdown. Let's listen in.
Tomorrow, we're expecting Splashdown live in this hour tomorrow night, 8:07 p.m. And the weather appears to be improving. No rain, calm seas, and only a light breeze, under 29 miles an hour. For now, the weather's a go. But that's not the hard part. Splashdown is. It's the most dangerous part of the mission. Earth's gravity pulling them back at 25,000 miles per hour. It could actually create a sonic boom loud enough to rattle windows on California's coast. The crew will be riding a 5,000-degree fireball. So their survival rides on one thing, the heat shield. A 16.5-foot dome made of 200 large tiles covering the bottom of the capsule. But the shield doesn't have a clean record. During Artemis 1, the uncrewed mission, the shield had hundreds of unexpected cracks after re-entry. NASA tested it out, and they're confident it's going to hold. They didn't make any changes for Artemis 2. So everything comes down to the re-entry angle. If they come in too steep, too hot, too shallow, they'll bounce right off the atmosphere. The shield can only take so much heat. Mission Control even admitted if the angle's off, re-entry won't be successful. There is no room for error. During peak heat, comms go dark for about 6 minutes. They're taking the same re-entry path as Apollo, but it even has the top brass on edge.
In terms of what keeps me up at night, my blood pressure will be elevated until they're under parachutes in the water off the West Coast. There's no plan B there. That's the thermal protection system. The heat shield has to work.
Our boys in the Navy will be waiting. Divers in the Pacific, helicopters in the air, all ready to recover the heroes. Their families will have a front row seat in Mission Control and will be reunited once the crew returns to Houston. The astronauts can't wait. They've been solving problems all throughout their lunar travels, like the toilet. But after they fixed the space jam, things still smelled.
The crew has smelt it once or twice before, but this time was stronger and was different. And we opened the door, everybody in the cabin could smell it.
For the toilet, we've discussed, based on the pre-flight reports and the AGA readings, we're going to continue discussing on the ground, but we are comfortable continuing with the emergency comm DFTO, and we are comfortable with you continuing to use the toilet.
I wonder who it was. Probably the Canadian. But when they aren't a space plumber, they're having fun floating around in zero Gs. They even brought a piece of American history. NASA canceled the Apollo missions after Apollo 17, so Artemis brought the flag that Americans were supposed to plant on the moon on Apollo 18.
In Victor's hands here it is the Apollo 18 flag that the agency asked to have put on board Artemis 2 so that it could take its rightful trip around the moon. And the four of us are just honored to have this here. We're honored that it is in our presence.
We didn't want the Canadian to feel left out and brought a little comfort item with him. Maple syrup. Nutella was floating around. It's not a competition, but Nutella made it to the moon before China. Just saying. Before they blasted off, the crew put together a playlist, and Houston wakes them up with a different jam every morning. This mission's like a relay race, passing on the baton to the next space pioneers, and right now we're winning. A lunar landing in 28 looks like a go, and a base on the moon. The crew can't wait to share their stories.
Our purpose on the planet as humans is to find joy, to find the joy in lifting each other up by creating solutions together instead of destroying. And when you see it from out here, it doesn't change it. It just absolutely reaffirms that. It's almost like seeing living proof of it.
There's so many more pictures, so many more stories. And gosh, I haven't even begun to process what we've been through. And riding a fireball through the atmosphere is profound as well. I'm going to be thinking about and talking about all of these things for the rest of my life, for sure.
Well done by Jesse Waters. Yeah. And y'all, everybody say an extra prayer to this afternoon. Say it right now for these astronauts coming back in, because they do have to be right on the money for this stuff.
You ever go on an RV trip and somebody drops a deuce right before you hit the road? No, you got to smell it the whole time. That's what I imagine.
Does that happen to you? It sounds like
many a times. In fact, we made a rule.
Did you see the art project that they did with the hooded robe thing and it's floating in space now? It's called the Art Love Project.
Oh.
They did it as part of this. It was creepy. It's real creepy.
Really?
Yeah, you got to look it up, Joey.
Okay.
And
they just basically made a piece of art and put it out
no,
in space
but
and float
it's like
around?
a person. It's like it's like this. It's floating in space. It's bizarre.
Okay. I did not.
It creeped me
get
out a little
that.
bit. It creeped me out a little
What
bit.
is it called again?
Art. I think the Art Love Project.
No, I was a big fan of Musk when he launched the Tesla up there.
I think it is. Hang on, space. Let's see, space. I think I had it on my. Here. Let's see where it's at here. Project Love. I think it's called Project Love. Maybe.
A lot of things have been called Project Love.
Yeah, I know. Deep Space here, Love and Deep Space Art Project right here.
Oh,
It's on
Deep
Instagram.
Space.
It's on Instagram right there. So, yeah, I'll find it. It's they're as creepy as can be.
Yeah, there's all sorts of creep going on, and I was not impressed with that playlist. Like you're waking up. To
I didn't
Pink
get that.
Pony
It
Club.
went too fast. It went too fast.
Really?
Not a fan of that.
Yeah, likewise.
And plus, where are all the cameras? I want cameras all over the thing. I want to be able to see a camera as it's coming in. I want to see that whole flaming thing, which might not can happen. I don't know.
Now, I won't bum everybody out, but I also thought this was an incredibly moving thing I'm about to change to here. Y'all remember Senator Ben Sasse?
Yes, I do.
And he was not popular with MAGA because he was constantly fighting with Trump and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But he, of course, was diagnosed with what? Stage 4.
Wow.
Stage 4 pancreatic cancer. And after he was doing real well, he'd gotten and was working, I think, at the University of Florida as a chancellor down there or something. And I'm going to pull up this clip now. This is there's a whole hour and a half with Ross Douthat of the New York Times. He's sort of their House conservative over there. And Douthat sat down with him. And first off, just when I pull this up, I'll full screen it. Look at his face.
Wow.
And it's because of a rare experimental drug he is taking. And apparently, this rare experimental drug has shrunk his tumor 76%.
Okay.
But it essentially creates what he calls it like radiation.
It's like lesions, yeah.
Yeah, where it's like boiling, bubbling, stores and bleeding from all over his skin. And so you see his face in this way.
I can only imagine the rest of his body.
Right. Exactly right. And yet, apparently, it has shrunk the tumor 76%.
Wow.
And of course, he's expecting to die. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
taking
not
some of
gonna
this
lose that
experimental. And so Douthat was asking him pretty straight up questions. And especially to see a man with that sort of face, is just obvious signs of suffering and a wound, open wound, literally.
Not cool. Yeah.
Especially his nose. Oh. Anyway, let's listen into this because it's quite moving. Yeah, because you always think about, like, you know, how would you, if you're a public figure, you do the Norm Macdonald route, not tell anybody?
Right. That's me. Right.
And I think there's a lot of honor in that, but also this is a brave, very brave route that Ben Sasse is taking. Let's listen to it.
I was incredibly blessed to be quickly at peace. I kept hearing the Pauline phrase, to live is Christ, to die is gain. And death is terrible. We should never sugarcoat it. It is not how things are meant to be. But it is great that death can be called the final enemy. It's an enemy, but it's a final enemy, and there will then be no more tears. I believe in the resurrection, and I believe in a restoration of this world. And so I did not feel great fear about my death. I didn't want the pain I was going through. I didn't want to be a pansy ass, in the final moments.
You're doing okay right now with that.
I am doing
so far.
Oh, thank you. But I did immediately feel regrets about a lot of misprioritization. You jokingly referred earlier to my podcast, which takes its line from Monty Python, Not Dead Yet. we're all on the clock, and I wanted to have prioritized better. And whether I really only had 3 or 4 months left, or if I get 9 to 12 months left, I want to prioritize better from then. But in my tradition, in Christianity, the need for daily repentance is just a truth. I am broken. I leave undone those things which I ought to have done, and I do those things which I have not done. Morphine. And there is no health in us. And I get to repent every day of both my sins of omission and commission. And yet, at a slightly bigger level, if you're only going to get 3 or 4 months, you really want to get some of your affairs in order. And my boy was only 14, and I felt a heaviness. I knew that God wasn't surprised by the diagnosis. There is not a maverick molecule in the universe, but I didn't like the idea of my 14-year-old son not having a dad around at 16. I didn't like the idea of my daughters, who are 22 and 24, not having their dad there to walk them down the aisle. And I felt a real heaviness about that. But I've continued to feel a peace about the fact that death is something that we should hate. We should call it a wicked thief. And yet it's pretty good that you pass through the vale of tears one time, and then there will be no more tears. There will be no more cancer.
Can I ask how you think your kids are processing the experience?
They have a great mom, and they are theologically rooted, and their hope is in Jesus. And they, all 3 are doing really well. My girls are 22 and 24, and I know that our conversations are the true and accurate conversations. My 14-year-old son is gritty enough and tough enough that I think even if he wasn't doing well, he could probably fake it.
Yeah.
So I don't fully know, so I covet prayers on that, but he seems to be doing well.
And you can watch, it's on YouTube, it's available, the full conversation. And again, you've heard painful conversations, people in the midst of suffering before, but there's something in particular about what he said in terms of priorities.
Yep.
Priorities. And it gets you thinking about legacy and like, what did I do with my life?
Exactly.
And there is that consolation, that, as he pointed out, that, us poor banished children of Eve, once we go through that veil of tears, there will be no more tears if you truly believe.
This is true.
But it gets you thinking about that legacy you leave on earth, and especially with the kids, the ones you love the most. The love between parent and child is, well, I can't think of one necessarily greater. Y'all are fathers, correct me if I'm wrong. And so, like, I think it's a very brave thing to hear him talking in such, I think, sober terms. It's not maudlin. It's not tearful. It's just straight up.
It's a broken man telling him what he feels.
Story, yeah.
And so, given that gets thinking about legacy, I was asked by one of the editors there at 1819 News to write something extra, and it'll come out in their magazine for the spring edition of the 1819 magazine. But given it's, my writing and my show, it's been accepted. I wanted to give an early preview of the article that will come out in 1819 News, the magazine. And it's called By Faith, Legacy. Now, faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. Indeed, by faith, our ancestors received approval. By faith, we understand that the worlds were prepared by the word of God, so that what was seen was made from things that are not visible. That's from Hebrews 11, 1-3. Far over the misty mountains cold, the dungeons deeps and caverns old, we must away ere break of day to claim our long-forgotten gold. It's J.R.R. Tolkien. That is the dwarf song in The Hobbit. And in fact, Bilbo falls asleep to that song almost like a lullaby. When my brother told me that he had started the tradition of singing Tolkien's Far Over the Misty Mountains Cold to his 2-year-old daughter upon putting her to bed each night, and that my little niece now requests Mountains, Daddy, upon being tucked in, it immediately stirred up memories of Mom singing us to sleep as little children. Yet upon that recollection, Mom's melody seemed more than a mere memory, but something ready to be born anew. Long forgotten gold just waiting to be claimed in the caverns of my heart. Though Mom's song has lived unseen within me for many years, with a simple act of love, I can embody the legacy of her lullaby with a gentle hum. Her melody is still unseen, yet alive again every time it's sung. Yet when my voice rises to sing the words she sang to me, I recall this song belongs to everyone's legacy. Yahweh, I know you are near, standing always by my side. You guard me from the foe and you lead me in ways everlasting. Where can I run for your love? If I climb to the heavens, you are there. If I fly to the sunrise or sail beyond the sea, still, I'd find you there. This hymn, I believe it was made in the 1970s by some Jesuits, is actually deeply rooted in Psalm 139. So this hymn has been sung in many forms for thousands of years. A legacy handed down as a song of praise, reminding us we are always seen by the unseen ways of the Lord. From Psalm 139, where can I go from your spirit? Or where can I flee from your presence? If I ascend to heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in Sheol, hell, you are there. If I take the wings of the morning and settle at the farthest limits of the sea, even there your hand shall lead me, and your right hand shall hold me fast. For it was you who formed my inward parts. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works that I know very well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was being made in secret, intricately woven in the depths of the earth. Your eyes beheld my unformed substance. In your book were written all the days that were formed for me, when none of them as yet existed. How weighty to me are your thoughts, O God, how vast is the sum of them. I try to count them. They are more than the sand. I come to the end. I am still with you. Indeed, if faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen, then it is by faith, through renewed acts of charity, that we come to embody our personal and eternal legacies. Across the generations, ancestors beget descendants who then become ancestors again, their souls as numerous as the thoughts of God, more than the sand. Though the generations may share their songs and stories in different ways with the changing days, an everlasting inheritance stays when rooted in the timeless, unseen word. Though legacy may be as humble as a lullaby, it can also be as bold as the greatest story ever told or heard. By faith, we may answer the call to adventure to find our inheritance in promised foreign lands. By faith, we may wrestle with angels, defy pharaohs, and part the seas as though passing on dry land. By faith, we may see the walls of our enemies fall while showing the endurance to suffer at our persecutors' hands. By faith, we carry a great cloud of witnesses, though we may never fully understand God's plan. By faith, we can build up cathedrals whose completion our own eyes may never see. By faith, we can establish a nation that pursues what it means to be free. By faith, we can tame the wilderness or be tamed by the natural wonders of his design. By faith, we can build up cities that shine through the night and scrape the sky. By faith, we can brave the heavens and touch the moon and Mars. By faith, we can raise our children to sing praises to the Creator while looking to the stars. By faith, we can share stories that inspire adventure that never die. By faith, we may forever see one another eyelash to eyelash with the hum of an unseen lullaby. Yet not all legacy is as sweet as those tender songs mothers and fathers sing, for the greatest legacies are born of those loves that bear the greatest suffering. More than melodies or tales of adventure to claim long-forgotten gold, stories of love embodied through suffering are the greatest stories told. There once was a new father, an enlisted man who made very little money indeed, whose firstborn son was delivered into the world with an unfortunate deformity. His son's right ear was not where it should have been. Rather, on the right side, the ear almost appeared behind the infant's head. The doctors told the father that the condition could be fixed eventually, but that they would need to wait until his boy was old enough for the surgery. In the meantime, the father would need to stretch his son's head to loosen the muscle so the ear could properly align, twisting the head day by day so the ear might move back to the right side. So dutifully, the father molded his infant son like clay. For 3 minutes, he would stretch his son's head every day to move the boy's ear from behind. And as the infant wailed in pain, the father would pang inside, never forgetting his infant son's cries for the rest of his life. Each day for a year, as this father suffered with his son, there was so much he couldn't see. He couldn't see that his son would soon grow in health and brilliance after the surgery. He couldn't see that his little boy would one day graduate high school at the age of 15. He couldn't see that his son, once a man, would one day enter the seminary and devote his life to building God's family. No, in that year of daily sufferings, the father couldn't yet see what his son's legacy would be. Yet by faith, he had hope in the unseen and embodied true love in the midst of their shared agony. By faith, legacy is found, and humble memories stored in our hearts like gold. By faith, legacy is passed down in the stories of adventure we're told. By faith, legacy is passed down in our cries of suffering and the lullabies we've heard. By faith, legacy is found in seeing the unseen, everlasting ways of the Word. By faith, we can embrace that God became man, that God so loved us, he suffered and died only to rise again, that we may be set free, our legacy ransomed from the wages of sin. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
This is your roving reporter, and today I'm talking with a political activist.
That's right, man.
And could you please explain to us your red cap with the letters MMRGA?
Yeah, man, this is my MARGA hat.
MARGA?
Yeah, man, that stands for Make My Retirement Great Again.
I see.
And to do that, what you need to do is call David Ernest,
the asset preservationist.
That's right, man. You can call David at 833-596-7233. That's 833-596-SAFE.
And I understand that's a toll-free number.
Yeah, man. Get David Ernest on the case, and your retirement will be great again.
And you make these hats?
I do. Here's a whole pile left from the last administration.
And they say CPWABD.
Yeah, man. Corn Pop was a bad dude.
And as you said, there's a whole pile here.
Well, there wasn't much demand.
I can dig it.
Don't you love the feeling of coming home to a clean house? Let Southern Bell's cleaning service get your home in order. Families in the River region trust Southern Bell's because they know Callan and Jesse will show up on time and believe in cleaning the old-fashioned way. They bring all their own supplies and specialize in full-service, residential, commercial, vacant properties, and construction cleanup. Estimates are always free. Call Southern Bells today at 546-0715 or follow them on Facebook at Southern Bells Cleaning River Region.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. Here in the River region, thousands of hardworking folks will be buying a home, some for the first time. How do you know you are buying the right home? It starts with research. A buyer's agent can help you in your search, providing a list of homes you may not be aware of or know about. At the same time, a meeting with a local lender to find out exactly what you qualify for and how much it will cost at closing and monthly. A list of needs and wants provided to your agent will help them locate properties that match those needs. An example would be bedrooms, baths, school zones, floor plan requests will also help. Start shopping and look at homes and compare and make a list of pluses and minuses for each home. Compare them with your agent to narrow the field. After you work out the contract, appraisals and inspections come next, and then the closing. For more details, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group, 221-2883. That's 221-2883.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Well, hi, everybody. It continues to be an uneventful storm-free forecast. And even though we need rain desperately, the weekend forecast looks good. Tonight, mostly clear skies. Overnight, low temperature down to about 52. Plenty of sunshine, and the warm-up continues tomorrow with mid-80s Saturday and Sunday, mid-70s down on the coast, abundant sunshine, 50s at night, and this pattern continues well into next week. From the National Tropical Weather Conference, Rich Thomas for Blue Water Broadcasting.
Feeling the pressure of high credit card rates? ASE Credit Union has you covered with a low 1.99% APR on balance transfers. Move your balances in March or April and lock in that 1.99% rate through your October statement. Visit ASE Credit Union today. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. Carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones. 334-272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. Let's go to Papa B. Hey, Papa B, how you doing?
All right, guys. Ready for the weekend?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, Eddie stepped out. He's helping somebody with a prize.
Okay. You know, I was just on the phone a little earlier with a friend that is just going through a gut-wrenching divorce. And, you know, some of the verses that were coming to mind when I was trying to give him some comfort, you know, were some of the ones that y'all are bringing, you know, to the fore right now. And one of them was, now this is the Papa B version, so, you know, go look it up if you don't like the way I say it. John 16:32 and 33 and 32, Jesus was telling them, look, you know, the time's coming when you're all going to be scattered. You'll leave me alone. You'll abandon me, but I won't be alone because I am with my Father. That's right before the crucifixion.
Yeah.
Yep. And then in 33, he says, I've told you these things so that you might have peace. For in this world, you will have trouble. But fear not, I have overcome the world. It's just, you know, right that we should bear one another's burdens and we should remind each other of these great and faithful promises that we have in God, especially during times of trouble. I'm often reminded, though, when I'm talking to people that are in these kinds of situations, that most of the hurt, so much of the hurt that we experience in this life, it's given to us by people that we love the most.
Oh, absolutely.
It just comes, it's like, this is not the way it should be, you know? But it certainly is. You know, in my own journey, some 40 years ago, I came to the Lord, and I, to be honest with you, I came, you know, in a lot of reasons because I wanted relief. I wanted relief from the pain of life.
Yeah.
Of dealing with life, and I did get it in some measures, okay? But on the other hand, life still has to be lived.
Yep.
And this life it has troubles. There's just no other way around it. we can talk about how we've got to pick up our cross and, follow after Jesus. And it is part of, living the Christian life is a crucifixion experience, sometimes daily, mostly daily, in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I think it's
I
I think the cross and resurrection, the whole mystery, to me, this maybe is a little cosmic, but I think it's the cornerstone of existence itself. Like, it happened in time once for all, but when you stack up the meaning, like say outside of time and God's time, I think it's the foundation of everything. And so you see that ripple through life, and it ripples through everything in our lives. Like family moments and pretty big stuff too out there in this world. It's amazing once you see it.
I like the way Tolkien put it, though. The elves were fascinated at death, and in fact, in the books, elves called it the gift unto men. Elves were supposed to be immortal,
right?
Of course, and they could die in battle, obviously, but otherwise they would live out a very, very long life. But that's what they called it, and Tolkien was very poetic.
Oh yes.
When he kind of painted that picture of these elves like angels sitting around looking at the affairs of men and being fascinated by death and saying, this is actually a gift unto men. That once, you do get past that, then, life can be lived without pain. Fascinating, though, actually. Great discussion today, guys, and I hope y'all have a wonderful weekend.
You too, brother.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.
272-9228, 334-272-9228. Man, I saw that guy. Y'all know that report, Jack Posobiec, the other day got going about how Lord of the Rings is a pagan book.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And I'm like, well, on the face of it, it is trying to take like the Norse and the Old English and give us a true history, because Tolkien at the time was seeing what the Nazis were actually doing with all those myths. And he was very well versed in all the old stories, and it was like made him sick to his stomach, broke his heart to see it being warped in the way it was being warped by the Germans. And so he kind of made it a point to save that history, that sort of Norse and like all that is on the face of it very pagan. But if you read The Lord of the Rings, and you can see it too in just watching the movies, it just became Christian through and through. And also Tolkien's very Catholic. So there's just so much to it. And he says in a lot of private letters, I'm almost taking too much credit in the sense that I didn't do that. Like, just as I developed these worlds and built these languages and all this stuff, the relationships between people started to shine through. So for an example, like C.S. Lewis in his books, they're kind of straight allegories. So the lion, Aslan, is Jesus.
Yes, of course.
That's not the case in Tolkien's books. But Jesus is described in three different ways: priest, prophet, king. So you have the priest is, I believe, Frodo, like suffering to go through and like bring us to a different side, like whereas Jesus is like the high priest himself. That, tears the holies of holies so we may enter it alongside him. But then prophet is Gandalf. And and then Gandalf literally rises again as Gandalf the Grey. I've come back to you as Gandalf the White. And then, of course, king is Aragorn. And so, like, you start to see, if you read into those books and a lot of his just the world he built, it becomes even deeper still. And I think it laid a lot of seeds. Those movies in particular that Peter Jackson did in the early 2000s, I think those laid so many seeds for the generation that's coming up and just starting families. And it's a beautiful thing to be able to share with your kids, especially like read The Hobbit for the first time with the kids. And my brother got a little thing for my niece that's it's one of those, it's pretty simple because she's only 2.5 still, but she's speaking beautifully at 2.5, and it's one of those good night books. But it's a Hobbit good night book, so it's all the dwarves. She's like, good night, Gimli, good night, Gloin, good night, blah, 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 blah. yeah, good night, Thorin. But it's I don't know, it makes you think about, okay, you can find this in great stories of fiction, and that's what Lord of the Rings is. But everything we do, lullaby, fiction, or sometimes those painful things you do for your kids, or those painful moments where you just sit with a buddy who's really going through it. You don't say a word, you just sit with them.
Yep.
Like, all of it should be thought of as it goes back to that unseen world.
I think that people, I can't overstate the importance of C.S. Lewis to Tolkien and Tolkien to C.S. Lewis. They both were very, very.
Oh, they
were their brother's keeper, if you will, and they challenged and they kept, and it was just a beautiful thing to see, because you're right, there is a thematic of Christendom in all those stories, and a lot of people just see it as an entertainment piece.
And C.S. Lewis, I think it's fantastic still.
So
His stuff, it's a little British, I think, for the average American.
It's kind of dry for some, but it's
like,
very
but Mere
powerful.
Christianity is great.
Screw tape, yeah, no doubt.
All that stuff is fantastic writing, and especially once you understand a lot of this stuff comes out during the war.
So we watched a show that had Anthony Hopkins in it, me and Robin did, and it's called Freud's Last Session.
Okay.
He plays Freud, and then there is a school of thought that said that before Freud died, near his end, he called for what was called a don from Oxford, and it was C.S. Lewis that went to him and helped.
They converted him?
Yes, you need to watch it. Anthony Hopkins plays it. It's
where like a priest came in, or
no, it was. I think that they. It's a beautiful movie. It's a beautiful.
I'll have
movie.
to check. Give me the name.
It's called Freud's Last Session. Anthony Hopkins and the guy that plays the British fellow that plays C.S. Lewis is just. It's Freud attacking in his own little way, and then C.S. Lewis rebuking, and then they're in this scene and they're in a bomb shelter, and then C.S. starts having flashbacks from World War II. And so Freud sees it. They minister to each other, but the idea is that this is what Freud's daughter said. Her father had a conversion at the end, and it was due to this man. So something that you don't hear a lot about. I think you'll appreciate it, Joey.
No, and also, isn't it fascinating how influential, even like just for the average bear, how influential that idea of like Freud and Darwin.
Sure.
And how also, starting with Isaac
Nietzsche.
Newton and
Let's go to Nietzsche.
and Nietzsche's a whole other, I think, category
but it's still
who very much foresaw the prophet of doom, if anything, foresaw what was going to come in the 20th century. But like how psychology replaced prayer in many ways, and confessing.
Yep.
But then in Darwin, replaces the whole creation story, and then you throw physics into that, But I think those things, they only were a bit of a trick for a time. In fact, there's some fascinating discussions about like when you talk to actual top physicists, and the idea of intelligent design seems very plausible. When you get to the bottom of like how cells actually work, how DNA actually works, is that really just random mutation over time, natural selection over time? It doesn't. It seems much more to be something design. So the intuition is we were impressed with ourselves for a time, and perhaps the current religious authorities needed to be dressed down and humbled in their way, as like every person, no matter what mantle you carry, should be humbled.
Sure.
But I think there's something happening in the culture at large, especially amongst young people much younger than me. In a way, I feel a little like, dadgum, getting going late on this, almost 40 years old. But there are a lot of young men in particular that are starting to take up their cross. And I think it's going to, as it has many times in history, change the world.
Yep.
Doesn't mean there won't be suffering. Won't mean a lot of those folks that take up that cross won't do awful, hypocritical, sinful things. That's
we are
that's
men
kind
of play.
of that should be the deepest reality of this. But it's going to be fascinating to watch a younger generation continue to talk about this, and you see it bleed into our politics, like that piece I was reading where the New York Times did on Katie Britt and her reading her Bible every morning. Of course, J.D. Vance coming out with that brand new book that's just simply called Confession, and it should be. I'm definitely going to be reading that book. So as we mentioned earlier, Rubio as well. Like it seems like this stuff is all the rage now. There is a return back to orthodoxy across all denominations. And wonder if it sticks or if it's just a fad of the tumultuous culture. But when you see the powers that bring this more full circle, like we've been talking about the powers and technology of war, the powers and technology of AI, the changing financial system, also at the same time, a brand new space race, like you're going to need something that is actually true and eternal and everlasting, the unseen world. And give glory to the unseen world and all the things you do, or else I think we're going to go very, very, very astray in a way that is going to be more hellish than what we even saw in the 20th century. So we'll see.
Have you seen any numbers out of the Catholic Church on attendance?
38% year over year increase.
Man.
Now you have a lot of older folks that start leaving and falling away. The overall numbers are not up that much, but when you're looking at like new converts or reverts like myself, the numbers are pretty astounding.
That is very astounding.
And a lot of the reports, a lot of your bishops and pastors are saying of different parishes are saying, well, I don't know, it's not necessarily something we did, but they credit the Holy Spirit first and foremost. And I think there is something like that happening.
Thank you, Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, and as we went over on many shows at this point, it is across denominations as well, where you're just seeing a return to a more serious orthodoxy. Like I think I heard it was like Father Mike Schmitz, who does Bible in a Year podcast, one of the more popular podcasts out there. He was talking about how people were wondering about the millennials and like the Gen Xers, like why did they all fall from faith? Why did you have the Christopher Hitchens and the Richard Dawkins and all? Like, what happened to the millennials? Why don't they believe in the faith that they've inherited, 1,000+ year inheritance? And his point was actually fascinating, is that, no, there's a lot in the boomer generation where it was a ticket punching exercise. And their kids realized it was a ticket punching exercise.
Sure.
And so their kids go, well, and like Jesus is reduced down to a good moral teacher, and the resurrection is sort of this spiritual like metaphor, or, they're just metaphors and things to make you feel better, or it's happening kind of intuitively, like in size. Like, so I think the kids of that generation realize, well, if we're not actually believing this stuff, why are we even doing it? And now you're starting to see the resurgence of, oh, we should really believe and we should really do it. So
it's amazing.
It'll be fascinating again to see how all this continues to unfold. Anyway, got to hit this break. Be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Hi, this is Brendan with Royal Furniture. A big thank you to Blue Water Broadcasting for helping us launch our Alabama stores in Prattville, Montgomery, Auburn, Gadsden, Athens, Decatur, Oxford, and Florence. We appreciate your hard work and dedication. Here's to a strong partnership and even stronger results. Thanks, Blue Water.
Did you know that radio is the #1 reach platform in all of media? It's true. Call us to find out how to put radio's #1 reach to work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
Hi, I'm Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop Wellness Center at 8161 Vaughan Road. With over 30 years experience in natural wellness, I've seen countless health fads come and go. A few years ago, we added a patented technology that actually activates your stem cells. It reverses the aging process at the cellular level. However, you do need proper hydration and targeted nutrition. At the Herb Shop, our advanced scanning and testing technology allows us to accurately assess your nutritional needs and get a customized plan for you. Come in today and see what the Herb Shop can do for you.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is #1 in the #2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Ray Bowles with Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray, how you doing today?
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Yeah, go ahead and do it. I got a customer holding my phone while I'm trying to text a picture to myself at the same time. I tried to talk them into unloading the truck back there, and they said no.
Really?
Yeah, I know. I was 17 boxes. What's wrong with your phone? I can't do it. I can't work those Apple phones. But no, these guys are building a new house with Alperi, and we're out here picking out the ceramic tile and
beautiful,
and doing all this good stuff and showing them what we have on sale. So yeah, it's a good afternoon to come by Private Carpet or call us at 285-8117. We'll be glad to show you around and do whatever we got to do to help you pick up some new floors.
And they'll definitely help you with that. And if you want to unload boxes, they'll let you do that too.
They'll help you do that, man.
Yeah, the guy actually that bought them, he went and jumped up in the truck and helped me unload them. Chad was on the forklift and wouldn't get off.
Wow. Chad's a smart man. Port truck certified.
I mean that's true customer service, that you got to come in, pay for it, and then jump in the truck and unload it yourself. I mean,
Well, it's immersive. It's the interactive experience.
Chad got on the fork truck. Come on, give the guy a break.
Yeah. Tell me about it. I've never seen him run so fast in his life to get on that forklift so I can get on that.
That's funny.
He had evil plans. Well, guys, y'all have a great weekend.
You too, Ray. See you, man.
So what do we learn today? Let me check real quick. Anything else
If
happened?
you need a cop, because they're not going to allow us to have minimum staffing, you need to call your legislature, whether it's a wreck or you're getting robbed or whatever. Just call them up.
Yeah, I'm looking here just to see what's trending at 1819 News. Yeah, that's the top story is the House Bill or the Senate Bill 298 died in the House on the last day of session. Ledbetter, the Speaker of the House, said, well, we just didn't have time to get to it.
I'm going to go with crime's going to get worse for 200.
Another Montgomery story still trending. We're not going to move forward with this contract. Montgomery City Council questions $243,530 payment to Louisiana private security company.
I wouldn't care. You already paid me $240,000.
Right.
I don't care if you don't go forward with the contract.
Well, and here's one that Craig Monger, who's back on the team
Love
there at
you, Craig.
1819. Hey, Craig.
Spoke to him
Love you,
yesterday.
brother. After failing to pass last year, the House of Representatives finalized a bill on the final day of the session requiring schools to display the 10 Commandments, provided that the displays or the funds to purchase one are donated to the school. Sponsored by State Senator Keith Kelly, requires each local board of education in the state to display the 10 Commandments along with a context statement in each history classroom serving students in grades 5 through 12. The display would have to be donated or purchased with donated funds. Per the legislation, the commandments would also have to be displayed in the common area of each school that serves only 5th grade students or above. The bill would condition the requirement on the availability of donated, displayed, or donated funds to purchase displays. The bill would require the State Department of Education to identify and publicize free resources that local boards of education may use to comply with that requirement. SB 99 was carried in the House by State Rep. Mark Gidley from Oaks Bluff, Alabama, who stood at the podium for an hour and a half listening to frequently less than coherent objections from Democratic lawmakers. Since Gidley introduced similar legislation last year, Democratic lawmakers have contended the bill violates the Establishment Clause of the U.S. Constitution. What?
You heard it.
Delay.
The bill has since undergone revisions that supporters believe make it legally bulletproof, just treating the displays as more historical than religious and including a multi-page preamble that opines on the 10 Commandments' historical impact on America and Western civilization. Despite that contention, Democratic lawmakers spoke at length on the bill's perceived negatives. However, the first to speak was one of the few Democrats to vote in favor. Patrick Sellers of Birmingham, a Democrat, stated that any education that does not acknowledge the foundational role of the 10 Commandments is an incomplete education.
100%.
Our children deserve the full story, not a filtered version, not a politically convenient version, but the truth. Amen, Mr. Sellers.
Yeah.
Plenty of Republicans likewise spoke in support of the bill. The idea that our education doesn't reinforce an idea of morality and God and truth is just a farce, said Ernie Yarborough of Trinity, Alabama, because all school teach kids where they come from, who they are, and where they're going. He continues saying it's high time that we be the adults in the room and tell our children that our rights and our freedoms are rooted in God and the faith of our country. Mac Butler from Rainbow City, Alabama, noted the history of public schools in the country began in churches that historically education and religious education were synonymous. Representative Kelvin Datcher, a Democrat from Birmingham, questioned the effectiveness of the 10 Commandments since when they were last prominent in public schools, Black Americans were facing oppression. How effective was the display and inclusion of the commandments when at the same time folks who sat on front rows of churches were bombing churches? The time that we're talking about being influenced by the commandments was not a great time for everybody. Well, he should expand that out to like the entire history of the ancient Hebrews, right?
Right. All the way. If you're going to pick out one point in time, let's pick them all out.
Yeah, you would think that the Mosaic covenant was still going on during the time of the judges, right?
Yeah.
And King David and Solomon.
Solomon, yep.
All that stuff. And they didn't ever do anything wrong.
No, they were.
We can't have it because people don't use their free will not to follow them.
That's right.
He continued saying, we slaughtered an entire civilization on this ground, and we enslaved another civilization on this ground.
Hey, gee, I got no plan for the future. Let me see if I can keep digging up the past.
State Representative Marilyn Lands, a Democrat from Huntsville, expressed general annoyance that legislative time was being spent on bills like this instead of tackling what she believes are the more substantive issues.
Like?
I'm not seeing them listed
we
here.
go.
Other lawmakers claim the law would be exclusionary to students of other religions and nationalities. State Rep. Philip Insler, who claiming pride in his Jewish faith, expressed skepticism about having the history of the commandments taught in school rather than at home. There are children that are Muslim or Hindu and other religions as well. And if the 10 Commandments are in schools, and I know you are saying it's for historical purposes, but children who then don't have documents in the classroom from their faith can feel alienated. And it will make them at times feel like they are not included. Shouldn't the law do that? Actually,
I would think so.
When did inclusion become more important as a rule than the divine commandments of God?
We're in all this compassion.
When we became secular,
That's
and we
exactly
turned our
right.
back on God.
Yeah, I guess we're really reformed at this point, ain't we?
Very reformed.
But we can still be proud of that reformed faith. After hearing objections and support for over an hour and a half, the bill passed 81-10 with 10 abstentions. The no votes were exclusively from Democrat lawmakers. The bill will now go to Governor Kay Abbott for her signature before becoming law.
Think about what she said. Reformed. Let's just walk that dog for 1 second.
That means so many different
Right,
things. So many
but
different
think
people.
of what do you think we need reformation? We have salvation. We don't need reformation. And that, to me, that kind of underlies the beast that has driven all this secularism, man.
No, it's just fascinating, but it did pass. And it's going into law. And I don't know if the prayer thing got done. I think that did
Thought
actually
it
get
did.
through. Yeah, I think that got through as well.
Yeah, I think it did. Yep.
So anyway, what a day. What a week.
Yeah, good week.
Yeah, we'll see if this ceasefire holds.
We shall see.
And well, I appreciate you both you, Eddie and Troy.
Thank you for
Enjoy being here, man.
And coming up next, we got Greg and you.
Yeah, I'm going to hang out with Greg. I believe we have Pamela.
Is Terry Adams going to be here?
I hope Terry's going to be here. I've got some questions.
Yeah, he has answers.
He does. That's what I'm telling you. I love about Terry being here. I got the encyclopedia right next to me.
Indeed, sir. Indeed. So y'all stay tuned. Happy Hour, the Friday edition, is next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Coosa.